Hello everyone, or konnichiwa over in this part of the world. It is the land of the rising sun here in Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix in Suzuka, round 3 of RRC, Redline Racing, Redline Racing Community, and fantastic stuff as well. We've had 2 absolutely outstanding races so far this season. The only downside about this round is, unfortunately, you got a ginger guy from the forest, so you have to bear with me on that one. This is going to be a cracking of race. Look at that, the only figure of 8 circuit on the Formula 1 calendar. It's really a special racetrack. This is definitely one to really enjoy and really behold. As I'm just quickly getting the stream up, and let's share it to the world, shall we? And we'll then get cracking. As I quickly, I can't do 2 things at once. I'm pretty appalling with this multitasking kind of thing. It's not something that I'm very good at, really. I have to if I do anything at the same time, I'm usually just like sat there in silence. And there we go then. So I've actually done it first time as well. Blimey. I'm on a roll tonight. Excellent stuff, then. So yeah, it's great to what it's going to be, an absolutely cracking out race here in Redline Racing, and let's just take a quick look at the championship standing, shall we, as well? Because we did notice earlier about all what was going on this season. Of course, we've had 2 absolutely outstanding rounds, haven't we? And this third one is going to be just as hot as well. Of course, we're simulcasting tonight. So as I was just speaking to Raina just a minute ago, that it's like old Champions League kind of nights, isn't it? Where you had like both the like all the Champions League matches all side by side. Oh, that's cracking, isn't it? That's what we love about it. It's called silver and gold on the same night here, Friday night racing, of course, of the part of the RRC. And it's absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. And let me just get up the I gotta say, I'm really rubbish at Discord. I need to sort myself out. I must admit, I only realized the other day that I had my notifications turned off, which wasn't very good. Anyway, in the so this is the gold driver that standings in this, and at the moment Jonathan Cox, the British Italian driver, is at top of the standings on 29 points, but XR just 2 points further back in the Williams on 27. Then we got Reggie in 3rd position on 27 as well. 25 for Dan Murphy, Fisher, and then Fisher's on 18 with Navgo, I think it is. And then we've got Jimbo on 14 points, and then we've got Stringy on 10. That is that's the top of standings, and I gotta say, it's very nip and tuck, isn't it? After only 2 races as well. In the silver standings, of course, Reina is the main man at the moment on 41 points. Of course, 30 points for Dragon. Rocket Tony 26 with Robbo, Robbo also on 26 as well, I should say. And in the constructors, then of course that's the beauty about Friday Night Racing, because there's 2 races going on. The constructors points does get added up from both leagues, which is brilliant, isn't it? And it can't be any closer if you wanted to, can it? 1 point separates Mercedes and Toro Rosso at the top of the constructors at the moment. Fantastic. Racing Point is in 3rd position. They're 13 points adrift, with Williams in 4th. They're 15 points adrift. Bit of a gap to Renault. They're 27 points down the road, with Alfa Romeo also on 39 points as well. Red Bull on 34. Then we've got 30 points for Ferrari, 10 for McLaren. Haas really need a good weekend, well, a good race, don't they? Otherwise, they're going to be they're starting to be left behind there, isn't it? And that's not ideal at all, is it? And hopefully they can turn it around. Of course, that's the beauty about Formula 1, isn't it? Is anything can happen, and it usually does. And of course, with the points now going all the way down to 10th, they're virtually giving the points away these days, isn't it, in Formula 1? Because remember, back in the old days, it used to be up to 5th position, then it went into 6th, before going down to 8th and then down to 10th. That's some useless bit of information for you there, guys, which I have no doubt that none of you really care about that. All you care about now is get racing. And that's what you want to see. Then we've got comments in the comments already going on. Jonathan Cox said, "Good evening, Sean. 5-time Japanese Grand Prix winner." He's that's not me, by the way. I think the first I got around Japan was turn 3. Just got up to the S's there. So yeah, that's as good as my Japanese Grand Prix. Of course, Jonathan Cox is a 5-time winner around Japan. He's a Japanese specialist, isn't he? Around here, super Suzuka, isn't it? It's absolutely spectacular stuff. And good luck luck to all the drivers as well. That was for Jonathan. We also XR. I know XR very well. A cracking driver, isn't he? He's very consistent, isn't he? Scarily consistent. Oh my goodness me. He just keeps going round and round, doesn't he? And he just gets quicker and quicker. It's like a horror film, isn't it? Where where the bad guy just like walks out, just catches up, don't you? Doesn't matter how quick you go, he just keeps catching up. XR saying hi, Ginger. Good to hear you again. It's great to see you racing XR. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do around this figure eight circuit. Then we're almost ready to get going. Then as we're just waiting for some drivers to come in. Let's just take a quick look then. The tire compounds then is soft, medium and hard tires, of course, as it is at every circuit. But of course then the tire names are C2, C3, C2 and C1. And that is the hardest in the compound ranges all that we go across the world. We got intermediate tires and we got the wet tires as well. We might need both of those tires because Japan can be notoriously wet for that. Wet can it in the in Japan? I mean, you just think about some of the classic races around here. I got to say, Japan '94 was an absolute cracking of a race, wasn't it? It was split into two. It split into two halves, and that aggregate system really did confused everyone, really, didn't it? But Damon Hill probably had the best race win of his career, didn't he? Back in '94, it was an incredible race, wasn't it? Martin Brundle had a bit of a heavy-old smash, didn't he? Of course, a Sky Sports pundit these days had a heavy-old smash and hit Marshall and broke both his legs. I think that was a scary old incident as well, wasn't it? '94, but I was saying 95 was a cracker in it as well, wasn't it? Schumacher and Alesi battling away on a very damp track again there. 96, I think, one of my personal favourites, wasn't it? Where Damon Hill just launched off the line, took up past Jacques Villeneuve, didn't he? And beat him to show that brilliant stuff. You could just go on and on about these classic races, can't you? 98 was incredible, wasn't it? Schumacher had a specially designed helmet back then, didn't he? I think he had a chrome helmet for that World Grand Prix. And really, I remember Martin Brundle saying in the build-up, saying that if you're quite superstitious, you really wouldn't want to change your helmet. Unfortunately, Schumacher did. He stalled on the grid, charged his way back up to third, I think, and then had a puncture, and it just really wasn't his day there. Hakkinen took his first of 2 race wins, didn't he? His first of 2 championships, I should say. Really, that was really good stuff. Well, I think that you got to say that one of your personal favourites of Japan has to be 2005, don't it? My goodness me, Raikkonen from 18th on the grid, I think it was, past Fisichella on the last lap. It was really, it was an incredible drive, wasn't it? I'd say that Kimi Raikkonen was probably the best version of Kimi Raikkonen you'll ever see. That was incredible. The 2005 version of Kimi Raikkonen was spectacular, really. If McLaren got their act together, then yeah, Kimi Raikkonen possibly would be a 2-time champion, possibly. But who knows? So there's a lot of ifs, buts and maybes in history, isn't it? Today in history, we are at round 3, Friday night racing as well. I hope I've just had me Chinese, so that's why I am excited as ever. I'm always excited, but I'm more excited tonight because of I've enjoyed my Chinese. I had a bit of rice. I love it. Anyway, no one wants to hear about my tea, but I hope all you guys have got your food ready as well. It's going to be watching this at home. The drivers would definitely would hopefully have eaten by now, or have just might have a nibble in qualifying perhaps, just to get their energies up, really, isn't it? Just to get their engines up, really, because you need concentration, especially around here, isn't it? It's an old school circuit. The bars are quite close together, isn't it? If you're going to go off, you're going to have a big old smash around here. Of course, anyone remembers when Suzuka returned after a 2-year absence on the calendar, 2009. We figured out 3 red flags, didn't we? Some incredible old shunts there. I remember that quite well, actually, because I got up quite early to watch it. Then I went off to Alton Towers. That was the last time I've ever been to a theme park. Oh yeah, that was almost 10 years ago. Blimey, I need to go back, I think. Right, the countdown is on, and I think all you guys are absolutely loving that because you don't want to hear me waffling on all night, do you? As we are now going to be getting ready for the Japanese Grand Prix. We've got Fisher evening show. Good evening, Fisher. Of course, my my former commentating buddy, and of course Fisher, very well. Understatement of the night, a very quick driver. He's more than a quick driver, isn't he? We've also got Brandon as well, or as I call him, Brendan. Good evening, buddy. Good evening, Brandon. Hope you're well tonight as well. Here on Friday night, I'm very well because no more work now for 2 days, which is absolutely brilliant stuff as well. You can see there's a crossover there. That's one of the unique features about this Japanese Grand Prix. We're just getting into the session now. and we'll be getting ready to go. Of course, it's great to have you all along with us tonight. Of course, I'd like to have your views, opinions, and what is going on in the world of Friday night racing. Of course, we're going to also we'll keep it up to date as well with the silver as well that is also going on here tonight. So I'll try and keep an eye on that as well, because we, of course, then that's great to have both leagues going simultaneously. I love that word. It's quite a big word. It makes you sound clever. We've got Echo saying we're finally started, and indeed, yes, we are finally started. I think it's probably because it's been listening to me drone on for like almost 10-15 minutes. And wow, I gotta say it's dry, but that is not a very promising sky out there, is it? I gotta say that that's a very threatening sky up there, isn't it? And yeah, I'm wondering what the weather's like there. Of course, Jonathan Cox is my Ted Kravitz there. He's usually straight on the weather. He tells me all about the rumblings going on in the pit lane, doesn't he? So you know, I expect a weather forecast in the not too distant future then. So we are now counting down. We're into Q1. This is so qualifying these days is broken up into three parts. We've got Q1 18 minutes, Q2 15 minutes, and Q3 is 12 minutes. So of course, then the track will get quicker and quicker because the more Pirelli rubber is laid down, the better the cars being. We've got our first car out now. Here he is. It's the Haas driver. He is coming out of the pits. We've also got a Racing Point coming out as well. Then, as they're not all too keen to come out. We've also got Matt there showing his stuff as well as he blasts out of the pit lane as well. Echo coming out in the McLaren as well. So here comes Brandon then. And he is in the Rich Energy Gold Haas. Gotta say, the car launch isn't too far away, is it, in the real world of Formula 1? I'm looking forward to seeing what the Haas is going to be released, isn't it? Because with no Rich Energy anymore, I gotta say, that was an unusual, one of the most unusual things in the world of motorsport, wasn't it? with the old Rich Energy sponsorship, wasn't it? Interesting. It was interesting to say the least, wasn't it? Almost a very similar story to I think it was the Modo team, wasn't it? Or whatever they were called back in '92. A very unusual businessman that was owning the Formula 1 team. In the early 90s, there was a lot of unusual Formula 1 teams back in the early 90s, wasn't it? Of course, we had the Pacific Grand Prix. I gotta say, I love the Pacific Grand Prix colours. They had a lovely purple, didn't they? With MTV, they were sponsored by MTV, weren't they? Really unique, wasn't it? The Simtech team was. Sorry, yeah, it was the Simtech team, not Pacific. What am I going on about? Goodness me. Yeah, the Simtech team. I love the colours of the Simtech team. Pacific was alright. Wasn't the most exciting car in the world, I must say. It was more of a blue, really, wasn't it? It looked almost like any other car on the grid. Anyway, yeah, what was I getting on about? I was actually talking about the car launches for 2020, not for 94. Yeah, they're me living in the past then. Here comes Games then, and he is coming down then into the triangle chicane then. Let's go on board then with the Racing Point driver, and he is accelerating away from the triangle chicane now. Oh, getting a bit wobbly there. I gotta say, the final turn 18 there, can really throw can really surprise you, can. There's a bump there, and of course if you haven't got traction control on that, it's a handful on his own right. We're on board then with a game zone. He's come through turn 2 now. Then of course turn 1 is more of a entry point into turn 2, really, isn't it? Now coming for the S's. This is an incredible part, a series of corners. Look at this then. As you can see then, the S's just get progressively tighter and tighter. Eddie O'Brien, an amazing overtake around there, 97, didn't he? Accelerating away now nicely, going over the rubble strips there at the curves there, but he's doing all right. Coming through Dunlop there. It's a very scary corner and run into Degner. Look at that, he's going on to the AstroTurf there. I thought Games was and he's invalid his time there. Instead has left the session there, so hopefully he comes back in a minute. Unfortunately Games there has had to back out of it, so we're going to resume on board then with Brandon then. New F1 Brandon is, as he comes through the hairpin now, accelerating away the Kobayashi hairpin, isn't he? And now then, as we go through the kink then of the right-hander then, coming up to Spoon then, and of course both Williams has had a trip across the gravel there, because there's a lot more gravel back in 95 than there is here today. I do love a good old gravel trap, and that's probably one place where they shouldn't have got rid of it personally. Yeah, but both Williams had a nightmare day there on that day, didn't they? I think also confirmed they lost the constructors as well to Benetton. Coming up to the 130 yard, this used to be a scary corner, didn't it, back in the early 2000s. There's not too much now. The car's got so much downforce, haven't they? Braking now down into the triangle chicane, then dropping down to second gear, then feather in the throw, accelerating away, stamping on that loud pedal, and now we only got one DRS around here instead of 30.1 there. Brandon has, and he's the first man to post a time in the Haas F1 team. But here comes it's Andrade goes into second position. Then we've got Echo It was on the 29-1 at the moment. So and then we got Adam, and yeah, we'll just call him And, shall we? On a 29-3. That's one of my strong, well, it's one of my weak points actually, really, is saying people's names. Matt goes into 4th position at the moment in the Mercedes AMG. So good time there, right out of the box. Then XR is on the quick lap as well. On board then with Nav, and here comes Nav go Mister or whatever. I gotta say that I really should have looked at these names really and tried to practice them before we go. Oh, but he's down to a 29.5 for the race and pull drivers. We got I think you had Echo as well, who's just gone fastest. Well, no, he's gone fast. He's already fastest. I'm well behind as normal. What about Braley? Braley then is on the is in the Red Bull. Then we're on board with him now. Then he's navigating through the S's. Then love as Tristan said. Evening, Sean. Good evening, Tristan. I hope you're well. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Then look at the Red Bull trying to step out there, isn't it? Coming to the 2 Degnas. Then I got to say Degna is incredible. Isn't it? Look, here's the first Degna. There's a lot of track. There's a bit more track than Braley. Oh, and he's got on the loud pedal and he's had a bit of a spin there. Braley has, but he's carrying on then. He's carrying on. He's a fearless driver, isn't he? My goodness me, if I had that, I'd probably get out the car and walk home after that. Wow, but Brady's not even concerned one iota. And now he comes up to Spoon now. I got to say, this track is just absolutely fantastic, isn't it? It's one of the best tracks in the world, isn't it? And that includes like that includes tracks like, of course, the Nordschleife, an incredible track that is as well, and maybe even, of course, a couple of the ones in America as well. Now coming to 130 yard, as I said, of course, Alan Nish had the most scariest accident there in 2002, didn't he? That was a scary old heavy impact from McNish. That was unfortunately. That was his final race weekend, was it, for Formula 1 as a full-time driver, because he did go to Renault as a test driver after that. And now he's the team boss of Audi in that Formula E. Brady goes 6th fastest mode. We got to have a look. Oh, and Sam there is not happy with Fly Emirates there. See, I think that I wonder if he yeah, well, he's not going to be flying with them anytime soon now. He's completely destroyed the advertising board, and he is just recovering that car 19 in the Alfa Romeo there, just cruising around the track at the moment. We've got 11 minutes to go in this session, so time is not of the essence at the moment, but this is a long old circuit around here, and so it's not, because it's a minute and a half to get around here, so the cars, so he cannot be too concerned about that. So I'm wondering if Sam there's just getting himself into a bit of focus then, and he should be on his way then. Of course, time is your enemy in the qualifying, isn't it? Of course, you're going against 2 types of clocks here. It's the clock that's counted down the top left hand side. You can see there's 10 minutes and 43 seconds to go. You're also trying to get as quick as you can on the track. The benchmark is Echo on a 29.1 at the moment. He's doing a cracking job in the McLaren. I gotta say, the McLaren on this game is really nice to drive. I gotta say, I really enjoy it. Matt there's the second down then, so he'll be coming into pits, and Sam is just cruising. We're on board with games. Oh, we were. He's in the wall. He is out, and that. Oh dear me. And unfortunately for games, then he is in the wall then, and I'm not sure if that's shaking in frustration or what. Oh dear me. I gotta say, I think that that's all kinds of nasty there, isn't it? So unfortunately for games, then you can see coming out of Dunlop there, he just spun it there. He was past the point of no return, and he is done. And so we're down to 15 cars, and the question that we got on our minds now then is basically I think this might be a glorified practice session now than anything else. So let's see what Stead can do. Can Stead get out of qualifying? He just needs to post a time, and he should be all good. Stead's left the session again then, so he might need to start to really think about getting himself in the session and getting himself out there, really, because he's only got 9 minutes to go. On board Jonathan Cox and the British Italian driver in the Toro Rosso. So he's driving for his homeland here tonight, isn't he? Toro Rosso. I think he'd rather be driving for the Ferrari team, but this is the second best Italian team on the grid, isn't it? Toro Rosso now going to be known as AlphaTauri, aren't they, from next season onwards? And that's another car which I'm looking forward to the car launch, isn't it? Because I wonder if they might change their colours as well. Haas and AlphaTauri are the two teams that could really shake things up in the old livery department, and I do love a good livery. I gotta say, one year I was one of the gullible guys that was really excited about Red Bull's launch when they had a very unique design, didn't they? What am I trying to say? Yeah, in the testing period in Barcelona, and of course in Jerez as well. I'm surprised he's still practicing the Jerez. They did go to Bahrain one year, didn't they? I think it was 2015, 2016, maybe even 2014, perhaps then. Jonathan doesn't care about that. All he cares about is getting as quickly as he can around the Japanese circuit, as he is just accelerating away down. There's a nasty old bump out of turn 18. Jonathan there navigates it absolutely sweetly, as sweet as a nut, and he goes over the grid hatches out and he starts his lap then, and how he flies into turn 1 then. I've got to say, there's some lovely shots around Japan, isn't it? It really shows the cars working absolutely pristine and beautifully, doesn't it? And you can see then as he's climbing up the hill then. And as Steve has joined again then, so I'm not sure if Stead knows whether he's coming or going at the moment. So hopefully... oh, Jonathan there almost doing what Games did there, and he was almost in the wall as well. Then you take note, there's a bit of curb in there, isn't it, from Daniel one there for Jonathan there, and he comes in to the hairpin now. Of course, Kobayashi doing some incredible overtakes around here, as Brandon goes over into his second. Now, good time there from Brandon. Now the times are starting to tumble down. It's going to be like a fruit machine, isn't it? As the drivers are going to get more confident. The cars are going to get grippier, because of course the Pirelli rubber is being laid down on the asphalt, and as Jonathan there accelerates out there. Oh, look at that, he's almost all wheels off the track then, and you can see that he's tinkered around then with the ERS, and as you can see he's now down to 4. Here we go, as he wants to save ERS. Because of course if he stayed in 5, the ERS would have been completely depleted at the moment. Of course the D down in the bottom right, it is right, isn't it? Yeah, the bottom right hand side of your screen. My goodness me, it just shows how much of a low IQ I've got. Jonathan, it goes fastest on a 28.8 there. Incredible time there from Jonathan, right out of the box, and really showed some. And here comes our Dutch friend Nigel in the lovely green helmet there of the Red Bull there. Good stuff indeed there from Jonathan then, and he is fastest. Nigel is second fastest mode. What about our H44? He's in the Ferrari. I wonder if this might be a sign of the future there, because Hamilton, of course, our H44 as well, might be going to Ferrari in 2021. Whoever believes that rumor, well, I must admit, I'll be quite interested, really. It'd be very interesting to see as well. Now, but our H is more concerned about here and now, isn't he? And let's see what we can do on board the Ferrari then. So at the moment then, in the drop zone is Steed. I think Steed just needs to just set the timer. It doesn't matter how slow it is. He just needs to get up there and set the time. Yellow flag it too. It's I think it's one of the Haas there. Just touring back to the pit set. We have still got Fisher, Murphy. We got Sam. We got LH. We got Stringy and Stead. Oh, haven't set a time yet. As LH comes through the final turn then, and let's see what he can do. He's hugging the. Look at that. He's almost there. Oh, he's invalidated his time. No, he hasn't. He's on a 29.8 there. Oh, these times are very nip and tuck. Of course, the segment between the first and 8th for the moment. Lovely. Oh, look at that. Incredible stuff. Murphy is still chilling out in the pits at the moment. So we're on board with Sam then. Of course, we've seen an adventure earlier on then. And oh, he's on a board the fence now. He's spinning around. He spins. He's in the gravel. Oh, he's hit something hard. He's hit the barrier hard then. Where's Stringy? Stringy! Oh, my goodness me. And oh, wow. But Stringy there is keeping it on the... Oh, my goodness me. I got to say, if I was Stringy, I'll be having to change my underwear there and blimey. But he kept his foot right planted on the floor. Wow. That is... got to say, that's a bit of a close shave, really, isn't it? Oh, so... oh, well, but Stringy was not fazed by that one iota, was he? So we're on board the Toro Rosso. Of course, his teammate Jonathan Cox is the class of the field at the moment. He is fastest by 0.2 of a second. As Brandon has retired from the session, hasn't he? And now we're on board with Stringy. He's coming up the hill. There's a bit of steep old climb, isn't it? Coming out to the 130R. We're coming over the crossover now then. As I said, it's a unique part of the circuit. It flies through 130R. As we said before, it's a bit more of a challenging than it is now, isn't it? And you can see the famous Suzuka Ferris wheel. Oh, look at that then. Is a Stringy there almost correcting the car and almost going into the pit wall there. It can be done. It's quite easy around here, isn't it? Stringy goes 6th fastest then in the Toro Rosso. Braley's out on track again. We've also got Fisher, who is just on the Sam there. Sorry, Sam there is just touring back to the pits then, and now Fisher there just flies by Sam's Alfa Romeo then, and now he's coming up to the 130 now. There it is, look at this, he's not even a hint of a lift there. The car dulls a bit, but there's not a lift there. Now dropping down into second gear, 50 miles an hour in the triangle chicane. Well, I think he's got the triangle chicane still. Fisher comes out of that, a bit of a bump there, he comes up to the line, and he's got second fast mode. Him and Jonathan there almost cannot be separated there. Incredible stuff. 400ths of a second separates them. Yellow flag in one. As oh, we got Jimbo joining us as well. So that's great to see. Jimbo is in the session as well. Echo is retired from the session. Jimbo unfortunately will be starting near the back of the grid there. On board Sam, and he's going for another attempt as well. His time at the moment is a 2:16. Because he was in the gravel there, wasn't he? He was I think he was enjoying the Dunlop a bit too much. Of course, this is where he ran out wide, and he's gone wide again now. He's gone wide again now around here. He's really struggling, Dunlop is. And of course, there's a challenge, no turn there. As he's just having a look there. As this time Stringy sees him. And oh, he's in the wall as well. And look at that. That's how these wings are very strong. I mean, if anyone's seen the feature where Lewis Hamilton's basically jumping on the front wing, that just shows how strong it is. But well, unfortunately, there Sam's wing just fell off there when he touched the barrier there. And that's unfortunate there for Sam. So I'm wondering if he's got 2 3/4 minutes to go in this session. It's getting a bit nip and tuck out there, isn't it, for him to set a time? But I think that should be fine though. He should be through. Remember, we are aiming to line up 16 for the moment, and at the moment it's Stead, who is not really keen on getting out that road, is it? We're on board then with Dan Murphy, then DRS enabled right on the money. There's only one DRS zone around here. You never tried to only have one DRS. I think it's Monaco. Don't quote me on that. That might be completely wrong, but I'm sure it's not. But you never know. Don't take that as gospel. That's all I can say. Murphy now coming up then as he's attacking the SSN, and look at him go then. Oh, I love it. Murphy's helmet there. Not for the first time either. And now then, as you can see, then coming into Dunlop now. Then, of course, this is where Sam is really struggled around here, hasn't he? The car seems to understeer off the track there for Sam in the Alfa Romeo. Really struggling. Really struggling on the front end of his car there. Murphy getting a bit squirrely on the back end as he comes up into the hairpin now, and Brayley has gone. I think he is gone. He is retired from the session then. And where has he gone? I think it's yellow. I wonder if it's Dunlop. Dunlop is really causing some almighty problems out there for the drivers at the moment then. But that's a shame there for Brayley then. So he is out of qualifying already. We've also got Kieran here, Gaiman here, who says, hello, Piles here. Hello. Murphy there has had a trip somewhere, hasn't he? So he's invited. So Jonathan Cox saying that lap with a DRS failure as well. Impressive stuff there from Jonathan. We've also got Gaming say, Brooksy says, oh dear. I think you can all read that comment for yourselves, everyone. Of course, then I'd love to have your opinions on the map. Oh, and Murphy there, it's done a 31.8 there, and I got to say that's a pretty impressive time, considering the fact that he kind of went a bit had a bit of a problem there halfway through. Went on an adventure there in the second part of the lap there, didn't he? But he's in 12th position, and Sam is in 13th position. Sam is still going for a lap here, so Sam really wants to get a decent time on the board. So we're on board for him as he comes up to 130 yards on the grass there. Sam is at the moment. Fisher goes on pole position then, or I should say the fast lap. This is not from pole position at the moment. This is just the lineup 16th, which I think Stead has got it. I think he rather truly has that position then. He must enjoy 16th position, Stead is, as he is not to come out of the pits. I'm wondering if the connection is actually cost him from making a decent time. And so you can see Sam there finding almost half a minute there on his lap there. So as Q1 is ticking down and comes to the end now, and we have lost Brady. We have lost Hoover Games. I think it is. I'm sure I've heard someone say Hoover Games, but we'll just go call him Games because I'm absolutely terrible at names. And we've also got Stead out as well then. So at the end of that qualifying session, Fisher there really put the hammer down, didn't he? You could say it was like 4. Yes, I have watched Avengers recently. But he is up into his first position now. And my goodness me. So so Fisher's on pole position there. He's fastest on by 4/10 of a second from Jonathan, who's second, and Nigel in third. There's only 2 men in the 28s at the moment, and there's a Mercedes that just got out of the way. I think that was Murphy, who is just we got both Mercedes there, who is in a very similar part of the track, both at Spoon there, and One if it's the traditional Mercedes sandbag in here at the moment. I wouldn't count any of those Mercedes drivers. I wouldn't count any of the 13 remaining drivers going into Q2. Unfortunately, we have lost 3 drivers in here because Japan is an old school circuit. The barriers are so close together that we're so close to the track there that if one wrong move, you will be in the hedge, or worse, the car will be damaged. Unfortunately for Brady and Games, they're both out of qualifying, and they're now spectators like myself. And but let's see what they can do then. Is that we're just getting a couple of guys and retiring from the session then. And I've got to say that I would like your opinions actually on the I would like your opinions on the on this track in and of itself. It's really good stuff. Then this track is an absolutely fantastic an absolutely fantastic racetrack. And you can see it come down to 8 miles an hour, 8 kilometers an hour. It's I was talking earlier. It's probably the top 5 racetracks in F1, probably the top 5 racetracks in the world. When you figure Suzuka, you also figure racetracks like Spa. I love Spa. An incredible racetrack is brilliant. Spa it's a monster of a track, isn't it? And I know it's a real drive track, and you also would bring this one into that same breath as well. I'd like to know what other tracks that you guys find enjoyable to race on. I'm just trying to have a think now, really. I must admit, I quite like Brazil. I do enjoy Brazil. I just love the flow of it, especially the second sector. It's absolutely fantastic to drive, isn't it? Anyway, enough about that. No one wants to know about my favourite tracks. Unfortunately, Stead is out of qualifying. He didn't even set a time in the Haas. We got Games out in the racing point, and also out of qualifying is Brady. He would have made it through there, but unfortunately, his car was smashed to pieces. Remember, one of the rules in qualifying is you have to make it back under your own steam, and I don't think Brady did that, unfortunately. His gaming has said Jonathan should be disqualified too quick if he sets a time with no DRS. So yeah, Jonathan is really really deflating the competition before he even got into Q2 then, as he's only 4 tenths off with a DRS failure, isn't he, the British Italian driver. So you can see then, so now getting into Q2 then, we've got 13 drivers around here, so we're now aiming to line up 11th to 13th then. So and then of course the top 10 must start on the tires because they set the fastest time on. I know a lot of you experts there knows all about this, but of course we were hoping to get new fans all the time that would be joining us, which is what we like to see. So we must welcome those new fans, and of course we need to keep them up to date, and also you need to keep me up to date as well, because I don't really know what's going on either. Anyway then, so we're in the Q2 now. We've only got 15 minutes to decide the session. 11th, 12th and 13th then is what we're aiming for here. We're aiming to knock out those 3 positions, and then the top 10 drivers. And look at that, then we've got some tyre strategy as well. It's interesting to see then what tyres are going to go on. Remember, this game has now been out for almost half a year, well over half a year now, isn't it? So there's going to be a lot of drivers that knows a lot about what strategy is going as well. So the more you race around here, the more strategic course you get, and a better understanding really of what to do. Jonathan has nailed his colours to the mask, and he is gone on the medium compound tyre. And as he's now coming up the hill, then I think Rainer just left the party about 5 minutes ago. I think he's had enough of my voice. So of course he is in the silver tonight as well. We'll keep an eye on the silver. I must admit, I did promise that. I really should actually have a look to see what's going on in silver whilst we're just waiting for the drivers to get up there in a proper attack this racetrack at the moment, because of course at the moment they're just trying to get the cars into optimal performance, and that's exactly what we want to see then. And as I'm just having a quick look to see if I can find the silver stream, so we're just watching Jonathan. I've got to say, it's an absolute privilege, isn't it, to watch the British Italian driver. Really good stuff. It's a privilege to watch all these drivers though, because all these drivers do have some incredible amount of driving skill, don't they? As I said in the build up there, when I tried to race around last time I raced around here, I don't think I got past turn 2 actually. It wasn't even turn 3. So there's me trying to make myself feel better than what I actually am. I didn't even get up to turn 3, unfortunately. Just watching Jonathan then. So he's winding up now. It looks like his ERS is back and ready to go, which is exactly what we needed. And so Jonathan there was exactly what I want. I'm not sure if it's what the other drivers want. As you can see then in the silver, actually, just taking a quick look, so the silver race has started then, as we're just watching Jonathan coming up to the line then. So in that silver at the moment, it's we've got got a very wet old race over there at the moment. Of course, it's at the moment Rocket Tony who is leading the way on the 4 wet tyres. And oh my goodness me, that's how we said there was going to be rain in Japan. There's rain in Silver at the moment then. As so it's really becoming this very difficult racing circumstance over there. So let's just take a quick look at the race results. Sorry, Jonathan's just climbing up the hill there. As it stands at the moment, then we have Rocket Tony, then that guy Alex in 2nd position. We have Reina in 3rd position, Apex 4th, for Dragon on Speed 5th, Liam 6th, Devil 7th, Puppy 8th, and Robbo in 9th position. So that is what is occurring in the That's what's occurring in the Silver League. Let's go back to gold then, shall we? We're on board then with Jonathan then, as he's coming up the hill now. As oh, I've missed a lot of comments then, haven't I? Whilst I've been nattering away about silver, and he's coming up to silver then. We've got Harry saying just crash into him. So it's modern problems calls for modern solutions, doesn't it? So is Jonathan now is coming up the hill then. Oh, almost going on the grass there, bit wild there. As a Fish saying he did have DRS for that lap. Harry's going at Bilton's official fan club here. Oh, excellent stuff. So yeah, it's great to have Matt's fan club here. It really is. I expect a lot of banter though. So I love a bit of banter. Here comes Jonathan. He comes across the line then. He's done a 29.7 then in the Red Bull Toro Rosso Honda power car, and the Japanese fans are going to be absolutely delighted, aren't they? Of course, we've got 4 Honda power cars in Formula 1. I think we've only got 3 races around here tonight, and that is Nigel, Stringy, and Jonathan. So expect them guys to have a bit of a home field advantage here. LH44 out on track mode. We've got Echo there. Look at how much they hugged the line then. Echo goes second fastest on a 29.9 there in the medium compound tyre. We got Exile then, who is just starting us up in the Williams there, and he's going there as Matt there is getting ready then to show his fans really what's going on then. But we're going to stay on board with Nav here as he comes into pits, and Nav go mister, and he is coming in the pits now, and we're watching then Al H as he's coming up to the hairpin now then. We've also got Steve as well. Big up Bilton. We all love gravy. so cracking. I do love a bit of gravy as well. I'm looking forward to Sunday as well. Sunday's my second favourite day of the week actually, apart from Saturday, because I do love a good Sunday roast. So Fish has gone fast on a 29.3 there in the Ferrari. We're on board with his teammate LH44 in the moment. He's coming up the crest of the hill then. Look at this, and he's at top gear, 8th gear, and look at that, 194 miles an hour then. You can see that wasn't a favourite, that was just the dull of the power then, breaking down then into the triangle chicane then, riding the curves beautifully on then. LH44 accelerates away then, yellow flag in 2. I'm wondering if it's a Dunlop again. I'm not saying I'm hoping it's a Dunlop again. As I just taking a look, seeing what's occurring out there. Brandon there is coming from the hairpin at the moment. We've got Sam on an outlap as well. Remember, we are aiming to lose then the bottom 3 cars at the moment. Matt is also on track as well. I think there'd be an outrage if I don't show Matt. I will show Matt in just a few moments, and we're just watching Brandon at the moment, who's further on in the lap, and he's just coming out of Spoon now then, and then as he comes down the hill, there's another great feature about this track is the undulations, isn't it? It goes down and up, down and up. It's like a roller coaster ride, isn't it? Which is quite apt, really, isn't it? Because of course we're next to a theme park. It starts out to McLaren right off the track there. I didn't see who it was, to be honest. I think there's only one McLaren in this race, and I think in this qualifying session, I think it's Echo. Brandon's not even remotely concerned about Echo at the moment, because he is only concerned about going second fast. It's a good time there from Brandon. Here comes Matt then coming across the line in the Mercedes. He goes to 8th fast at the moment. And who's next? Sam then is out on track at the moment, and look in front of us. We have got Exo just in front of us at the moment. He's got a red X next to his name there, which is never a good sign. And Sam is coming up on the Dunlop. Oh my goodness! And he's just gone right into the side of oh dear. And I'm not sure if there was a bit of fisticuffs there, but he just drove Exile completely off the road there. It was Exile, wasn't it? I think it was. And I didn't dream that, did I? And now then now Sam then is on his way then. I wonder if that might have just been a bit of desync or something like that. Oh, I sound unprofessional with that kind of terminology. Coming into Spoon now as Sam there is just navigating Spoon, and you can see tickling the throttle, isn't he? Spoon is a very difficult over the corner, isn't it? Verstappen and Vettel come to blows there in 2018, didn't they? Well, it was more of, unfortunately, Vettel came off the worst there. As he was in the middle part of his spinning routine, wasn't he? I think Kyle Minogue would have been very happy with that. So now coming down down and into the triangle chicane. Then you can see dropping down the second gear. Sam is accelerating away then, and now then all he's got to do then, it's a very difficult final corner. This is Glock had a big old smash there in 2009. So I'm not using DRS there. He goes 7 fast. He's on the soft compound tires. I haven't even mentioned the tires yet. My goodness me. Echo and Sam are both on soft tires. Everyone else on the medium tire. But Stringy is on the I think the Stringy there might have invalidated his time, so he's just cruising out there. We're on board then with Nigel, and he's coming up to the hairpin now then. Nigel is accelerating away then. As now then coming now out of the hairpin, and he now, I gotta say, this corner is very deadly in the wet, isn't it? Not too bad in the dry. Coulthard had a big old smash as well. Of course, they've moved the barrier back there. Of course, Coulthard had a big smash there in 99, I think it was. Of course, when McLaren was fighting for Ferrari for the constructors, I think that was Ferrari's first constructors title in several years. I can't remember the exact years there, as Fisher is going round and round, and he's going quicker and quicker at the moment. The Ferrari driver is. He is doing an incredible job out there. He's half a second in front of the rest of the field. Then that's a Haas there who was going on the old school pit lane there. The pit lane used to be the pit entry used to be before the triangle chicane. Nigel goes second faster, so he's now cut the arrears of between himself and Fisher down to 2/10 of a second there. Good stuff for Nigel. Lovely stuff indeed. Then we're on board with Nav Gomister as he is now coming up, or is it Meister? It's Meister, I think. So we're on board with Meister, and he is now on his way in the racing point. We're on board with Stringy at the moment. Car 19, then Toro Rosso, Honda Power as well. The Japanese fans are holding their breath, and he's done a 49 at the moment, so Japanese fans might would like to go a bit quicker than that. Here comes Meister then coming out of the second Dunlop, and we're away then. It's great to have all you guys with us along watching the stream. It's brilliant to have you guys watching us. I know I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on this qualifying session so far. Who is your pick for pole position? I'm not going to jinx him because every time I say something, something wrong, something bad happens. So I got to say that there is a cut. It's going to be incredibly tense, isn't it? Incredibly close there in this final stage of this qualifying session. Back on board with Meister at the moment, and he is now coming over to the crest of the hill then. And let's see what he can do then. Oh, he's on the grass there, and Meister is then. As he wants to reduce the slip angle as much as possible. He wants to dial the power as much as possible, but unfortunately I think he might have lost a bit of time there in the racing point. Navigating the triangle chicane, accelerates away the back end, getting a bit loosey, and now he's on the way then. DRS enabled, and what does he do? He's gone fifth fastest. Meister, beautiful time indeed there for the racing point. What is Sam doing at the moment? Sam is back up to full power in the Alfa Romeo. Let's see what he can do. Striggy is not on full power at the moment. He is just cruising down into Spoon. So let's go on board with Sam. Sorry, Jonathan has now also, I tell you what, they're doing 2 or 3 laps on the medium compound tires. This is interesting, isn't it? I'm not so that's an interesting strategy. I got to say, I thought that they would like to have 1 lap on it and then come back in pits. So you got to start the tires on the exact time, so you have to start these tires on the race on the exact tires you're qualified on. That's what I meant to say. Took me 3 attempts, but I got there. Sam now coming out of the hairpin now then, and he is coming up to Spoon now then, and you can see them flying through. Oh, he's almost on the grass, Sam is, and wow, I got to say, really catching my breath first time. As you can see, going over the curb there, running a bit wide then, but of course that is all what you need to do in Formula 1. Of course, the aim is to reduce the turning as much as possible, really, isn't it? Because the less you'll turn, the quicker you're going. Oh, he's gone on the grass there. He's 2/10 of a second up. Yellow flag in 2. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Hopefully it's just someone getting out of the way there, because we don't want anyone else, of course, hitting the going on the sidelines before we've finished this. Sam goes into 8 fastest then, so Sam 2/10 of a second quicker. I wonder if he's got enough time. He's got under 4 minutes to go to get back in the pits. So set a new set of boots on and go again. So just watching Meister there coming into the pits end. Jonathan there is also cruising out there as well. Here comes Murphy then in the Mercedes, yellow flag 1. I think it's just the guys there just coming in the pits end. Watching Murphy then on brand spanking new medium compound tires as he comes through the hairpin now then. He's fuel lights flashing already. He's as light as a feather, that Mercedes is. Let's see if it does well on the timesheet, shall we? He is 1 or 2 drivers, hasn't said time yet, and hasn't come out either at the moment there. He is just chilling in the pits at the moment, and I'm wondering though if he's leaving it till the very end then to get out there and set the time. He's on the medium tires as well, but of course that can change that because he's not coming to the pits yet. But you might be just be giving us a bit of false sense of security and the rest out there. So at the moment then, I've got to say overwhelming feeling for the drivers. It's going to be soft compound tires, isn't it? Only 3 drivers. Brandon, there's a Taurus off the trailer. Brandon, Sam, and Matt are all on soft tires. Everyone else on the medium compound tire. Here comes Murphy, that car 14, and he's made that number more famous than Fernando has. He comes cross. He goes on pole position. No, I should say fastest. I'm already counting my chickens before they've hatched. And Murphy there is on as fast as the boat there. 10th per second then. So Murphy, welcome to the party. This is going to be incredible, isn't it? It really is. So I gotta say that there just more and more drivers are adding themselves into this incredible battle for the pole position here in Japan. Remember, round 3 of Friday night races, part of RRC. So just watching Murphy there, come on, in love with him. Anyway, whoa, we've got Anne there coming out of the pits and in the Renault. We got Sam there who is just coming in the pits now. Oh, it's going to be very difficult. I don't think Sam's going to be able to get out there. Echo is found a 10th per second in the McLaren. Almost 2 tenths per second there. He comes out of triangle chicane. Let's see what he can do now. DRS right on the money. He's 6th fast at the moment. Echo is in the McLaren. And is he safe there? I got to say, anyone in the 30s is not safe at the moment. So that is the likes of Sam, Exar, Matt, and Stringy. All are going to be very, nervous. Sam, I think, is also in the 30s as well. But unfortunately, he is not going to get back out there. So Sam might not be able to get out there, unfortunately. Harry has just said Murphy's qualifying has really improved recently. It really has. I think there's a race in a different league. A couple of but to the back in the last year, it was heavy rain. It was completely wet. I think you needed a boat to get around that German circuit. I must say, it really was absolutely pouring down. It was raining cats and dogs, and I gotta say, Murphy really tamed the water, didn't he? On that day, it was impressive. It was one of the best one of the best laps you'll ever see. Really impressive stuff. On board Stringy then, of course, his drives a whistle out there, but my goodness me, Stringy there saved it incredibly well. I thought he was going right into the sea in the accident there, but Stringy there really got it together there, but he has got to get around there. He's only got 50 minutes there to get a time in. So Stringy there is really on the back burner at the moment. Is it? Brandon's out on track as well. Let's take a look and see what oh, lovely shot. Look at that. That's an incredible view, isn't it? The first 2 turns there of a Suzuka. We've got Echo. He is 11 seconds down then. So unfortunately for Echo, he is also done for Q2. Is he done for qualifying? We'll find out in, about a minute's time. Back on board, Brandon Allen. You can see just kissing the curb there, then nothing. He doesn't want to go out too wide there. Sam had some issues, didn't he, in the Alfa Romeo there? A lot of understeering in that Alfa Romeo, but that might pay dividends in the race there. Might look after his tyres a bit more, perhaps. Who knows? I certainly don't know about car setup. So now comes Brandon there, coming through the hairpin now, then accelerating the way then. Stepping on the now pedal beautifully well. And now then he's coming up to spoon now that you can see. It's a lovely day out here, isn't it? There's a Murphy's return from the session. It's definitely not a lovely day in Silver. Absolutely raided out there, isn't it? In Silver, of course. So it's really good to see then. Well, it's good for our point of view. I don't think the drivers really don't like if it rains so much, do they? So we're going to have a flurry of activity then, haven't we? This qualifying session. Who's going to be the famous 10 then? It's going into Q3 then. We got McLaren there, just got out of the way then. Here comes Brandon there, breaking down then into second gear then, tickling the throttle. He is going out now, as Steve said. He's flying, and Brandon, I think, is he invalidated his time? I think he has. So that's unfortunate for Brandon. Here comes Ann there as he's coming over the crest of the hill then. Stringy there is on a lap as well. Matt is also on a lap as oh no, Matt isn't. He's done. I think he's done. He's out of qualified. Unfortunately, Exile's out there as well. So we've got a lot going on. Here comes And. He is coming through the final turn down and let's see what he can do. He's run out the deployment there, but this is his one and done lap. But it might be enough. It is enough. It's 5th position there. Brilliant driving from the Renault driver. Fantastic stuff. Exile's just come through the 130R. Matt, I think so. Matt is done. He is not going to get through. Sam is out of qualifying. Exile coming through now, and Exile's in 10th position. Then I think he is he's in 10th position. He's 10th second up there. I'm not sure if that was D-Sync or not. Anyway, then here comes Stringy then coming up to the line as well. So Sam is out of qualifying. Matt, I think, is out of qualifying as well. What about Stringy? Stringy's through. So Exile, Sam, and Matt have all going to have to spectate the final part of this qualifying session. So that is incredible turnout for the books, isn't it? We have lost Matt, we have lost Sam, and we have lost Exile, who have all unfortunately going to be watching the qualifying session from the sidelines, which, to be honest, is not a bad thing in of itself, really. It's a cracking watch, it really is. But I think these drivers are competitors, don't they? They want to be out there driving, they want to be out there going to the absolute limit around Suzuka. on this day in history. So we're getting ready for Q3 now. In terms of qualifying free, we've got 2 men, I think, on the soft compound tyres, have we? Well, we'll find out now, as the official graphic will come up, and I was rudely interrupted. No! We've all gotten the medium compound tyre there, so, yeah, it looks like everyone is fairly happy with their strategy. They've all gone one way, and that's on the medium tyre. So that's very interesting, isn't it, really? So, wow. So I'm wondering what the guys from 11th below is going to start. So Exile's in the best position in terms of the tyre strategy, isn't he? Because he is now gets to choose whatever compounded tyre you go so wishes to start on. It could be soft, medium, or hard. I'd be surprised if he starts on the soft, but judging from that results there, everyone is on the medium tyre. Let's quickly take a look at the gap. So Murphy and Fisher, less than a tenth of a second, like 23 hundredths of a second separates Fisher and Murphy. That is incredible stuff, isn't it? Jonathan is only a tenth of a second back as well. Those top 3 are looking in prime position to have an incredible battle royale. And hold on to your hats, everyone. If you wear hats, this is going to be a phenomenal 12 or so minutes, isn't it, to determine who's going to be on pole position for round 3 of Friday night racing. As we are now just getting cooking now, and this is going to be fantastic stuff as well. Echo is also saying, "Ooh, top 10 on mediums." Yeah, it's I must admit I do like a variety of spice in my life, but it looks like that. But I got to say, with everyone on the same strategy, it is really going to be an absolutely tense affair, isn't it, for the race then? And it's going to be on about who gets the best stars. So, of course, if you're on the medium tyres, anyone that's on the soft tyres will have a better launch. But at the moment, no one in the top 10 is starting on the soft tyres. And that's a Toro Rosso out there straight away. I think it's Jonathan. Of course, Jonathan does like to be on track first, doesn't he? He doesn't want anyone else to dictate his qualifying fortune, does he? He wants to get out there, avoid the yellow flags, avoid any incidents. Just get in there, get his lap done, and put down a marker then. So we'll find out what Jonathan can do now then. We're on board there with Jonathan. Of course, one of the beauties about Friday Night Racing is it's a bit of a random calendar, isn't it? So, of course, a lot of drivers have probably already had at least a season's worth of league racing under the belts, of course, as this game has been on for 6 or so months now. But so they definitely know about strategy. But of course, because it's not on the official calendar, you do get a jumbled up race, don't you? A jumbled up calendar. So yeah, a lot of guys will not be practicing around Japan, so they might not be at their peak. So it's more about you know, just being on the pace at the right time. So it's a lot of drivers do like to practice. Well, this is all about natural talent now, isn't it? And who has got the natural talent then? Well, we will find out as just watching the British Italian just on and out left. We've also got Meister, Navgo Meister, who's out there as well, and we've also got Andau, and also we've got Fisher, Murphy, Al H, and Stringy as well. It's a full house, and we've got Echo there, who's joining us out there. So 8 out of 10 cars is on the track. Then they will find each other, they will trip over each other because they all like to be on the same part of the track. And it's quite a long, lengthy track, isn't it? But they just like to be on the same track, don't they? Jonathan there, getting a bit of the grass up there, isn't he? Now let's go on board, Jonathan. Then this is Q3, 10 minutes to go. This is Jonathan's first lap then for qualifying free. Then let's see how it is at DRS. One DRS zone around here, and I think it's the only place where you can have. Where is the other place can you have DRS? Possibly up to 130 yard. The only problem is there's no braking zone there, is there? Could they have DRS going through 130? Oh my goodness me, that'd be scary, wouldn't it? I'm sure there was talks about that. They did have DRS very, very briefly in Silverstone, didn't they, in 2018 through one before Grosjean, and Grosjean, of course, went front to back there, didn't he? He had a almighty spin there to turn 1 in Silverstone. But that's a conversation for another day. Jonathan there is coming through Dunlop now. Dunlop has really been very difficult for these cars today, haven't it? And there's a bit of traffic in front of us there. Oh, is that a Red Bull I can see in front? I think it might be Nigel. Nigel is surely in the frame to be to also be talking about who's going to get on pole position. They come through the hairpin now then. And look at all the lock there that Jonathan's got then. Accelerating the way there nicely. We got a bit of we've got fuel light flash on Jonathan there. He is all ears, as light as a feather. Feather. He's light as a feather there. As he comes up the Spoon now then. Look at this and break it down to 6th gear. Spoon is still very much a quick quarter. Look at that then. But it tightens up. Now he's dropped down to 4th gear. Accelerates the way then. He is now going to be on the low pedal going up to the triangle chicane then. So we'll go on board of it now then. This is an absolutely incredible, it's an adrenaline rush, isn't it? From Spoon all the way up to the triangle chicane then. And now let's see where he does. Where does he break? Just before the 50-meter board. Impressive stuff, isn't it? Now, he's almost, he almost cuts the corner there, but I think that might have been inch perfect. It was inch perfect. Is it pole? It is pole at the moment. He is the first one to come through. It's a 28.6 there for Jonathan. Brilliant. Fisher there is on the back straight. We've also got LH there out there as well. We've got Stringy, and we've got and it's got pole position there. He is 10th or second in front of Jonathan there in the Renault. Good stuff indeed there for Jonathan, who is able to be able to beat that time. These are some cracking times around Suzuka at the moment. Fisher's on pole position by a 28.5 by a whisker. 400ths of a second then separates Fisher and Andy at the moment as they battle out for pole position. Don't forget Jonathan there as well. Navgo Meister is up into 4th position as well in the racing point then. Nigel there is he's in the gravel there, and that's not good at all for the Red Bull driver, and yes, and RH44 goes 5th, so that's a shame there for Nigel. That's his first run then. Brandon is out on track mode. Stree goes 5th fastest in the second tour also, and 29.0 then. And Murphy there also going a bit wide there as well. So Brandon there is just starting us up. Echo is in the middle section as well. Nigel has had a trip across the grass. Here comes Echo then flying through the 130 yard and coming down into a triangle chicane, breaking down into first gear then. And you can see that now accelerating away then, coming out then. A beautiful car 24, the McLaren Renault. Still sounds strange to me. He comes up to the line. He goes 5th fastest at the moment, Echo does. And he's on a 28.9 at the moment. And look how close that is. A 128.913, a 128.914. My goodness me, that is absolutely, that is as close as you like. That is within a thousandth of a second of each other. Just remember that. We've got 18 turns around here. It's incredible how close they are together. Wow. And all the decisions you've got to make as a driver, and they are in a whisker of each other. For instance, look at the bit of sun there in the eyes of Brandon there. It's certainly the eyes of me there. I might have to get my sunglasses out in a minute then, as the sun is beginning to set here in Japan there, isn't it? Of course, it is the land of the rising sun. Brandon there is rising up to the 130 yard now then, as he comes, flicks it through the 30 yard and lovely stuff. He's up to 192 miles an hour. Again, that's just a bit of dulling of the power then into the triangle chicane. Of course, that's a bit of famous chicane, isn't it? Of course, for all kinds of reasons. Now Brandon coming up to the line then. Is he going to be on pole position? He's not quite. He's on a 29.057 at the moment. Murphy is on track then in the Mercedes then, as he's come through Dunlop now then back, as this is of course one of the more impressive qualifiers, as Harry said in the comment section just a few moments ago. He's definitely improved, hasn't he, Murphy, as he's coming up to the hairpin now then. Dropping down into second gear then, at 50 miles an hour, just getting below 50 miles an hour, tickling the throttle as well, accelerating away, stamping on the loud pedal, and now then he's coming to spoon then, as you can see that. I gotta say, it's an absolute privilege, isn't it? Murphy is a very good driver, isn't he? When I see Murphy racing in 2018, he was a fairly good driver, but 2019 he's really stepped up his game, hasn't he? He's absolutely incredible, isn't he? Really showing some impressive speed there. Daniel Murphy is, isn't he? He's now coming up to the 130 yard. He's done a 12 in the second sector, hasn't he? And you can see, look at that, he's full of earth now. He's full of beans as he comes down into the triangle chicane there once again. And I've been saying triangle chicane quite a lot. Nigel's back in the pits. He's the only man who has a set time then. What is Murphy doing? He's fast in Q2. Is he fast in Q3? He is third fastest mode on a 28.6 at the moment. So round 1 is completed of qualifying 3. On pole position is Fisher, a 128.5. A 128.5 for Andy in second position. Murphy a 28.6 in third position. Jonathan a 28.6 fourth position. Navgo Meister 28.9 there, fifth position. Echo 28.9 in sixth position. Whiskers away, isn't it? Then 28.9. And then we've also got Brandon 29 flat for String as well. Also 200 of a second separates those guys as well. And then we've got LH, who is 6 tenths of a second back at the moment. I think he can go quicker, so don't discount out Nigel or LH44, as they're going to be in the party as well. We've got a couple of drivers out there going for their second lap, because we're 4 minutes in. We're 4 minutes remaining in this session. This session is absolutely flown by. Nigel and RH want to think about getting on that. Murphy's got a motor back to the pits as quickly as possible. He's a slightly out of sync, isn't he, at the moment? He's going off the track there, Murphy. He's doing a cool fart on 95, and is on a lap at the moment as he's coming through the SSN. He is snaking his way through the SSN, and that car, I gotta say it was bolted to the floor there, but the rear end was really trying to escape from him there. Coming through Dunlop then, going. That That is inch perfect now. That is inches. This is a game of inches, isn't it? And he's doing a cracking job as he comes for the front for the first Dunlop there. Beautifully done then. Into the second Dunlop, a lot more slower, isn't it? Going over the crossover there, isn't it? As we said, a unique feature around this track, then going into the hairpin now then, and dropping down into third gear. Second gear, 40 miles an hour, accelerates away there. And he is on the gas now, and he is now coming into spoon then. And let's see, flies through the well, it's the right-hander there, isn't it? Now the spoon then. Lovely, absolutely lovely indeed then. And now accelerates again. It's incredible to hear the engine sound, isn't it? Oh, not as incredible as the V10s and V8s, is it? But I gotta say though, they do sound a lot better than the Formula E cars in my opinion. 2 tenths of a second up, and is at the moment. That is enough for pole position. He can't get into a 28.3 here for him. That's incredible pace this is from the Renault driver. Accelerates the way down nicely. He's right out of deployment now. He's just got a coaster home then. Well, he hasn't got a coaster home. He's got the other bar. He's on pole position at 28.3 from the Renault driver. Fantastic stuff, absolutely incredible. Fisher's got to respond now. He needs to respond if he wants to get pole position then. And then we got a lot of drivers in the pits there with 2.5 minutes to go then. They're cutting it very fine, aren't they? Oh, they're as cool as a cucumber. Perhaps they're cool as a cucumber, and I'm just very nervous. Here comes car 13. Fisher and Ann, they're outstripped quite quickly here. I'm wondering if they're going to have 2 runs here. I'm wondering if they've fueled their cars up for 2 attempts at this. I think Ann might be having a cool down lap there. We've also got Brandon out of the pits now. Jonathan also cut out of the pits as well. Yeah, now they're starting to flurry out and there. 2 minutes to go then in this session. Fisher at the moment there. Is it enough? I don't think it's enough for He needs to have an absolutely incredible final sector. Accelerates away. The line is coming up quite quickly. The line is up almost instantly on you. He is pole position by the Narrison margins. Well, in the Narrison margin, there's a 28.1 there from Fisher. My goodness me. And well done to Fisher there. Well, he was only 10th of a second up in the second sector there, wasn't he? I didn't think it was enough, but incredible stuff. Striggy is also a 10th of a second up in the second sector then. He is now navigating the chicane now. He accelerates from the chicane then. He's just got to get on the loud pedal now to the end. And what does Stringy do? He goes 5th fastest, just behind his teammate there, Stringy does. He hasn't got enough time, I don't think, to get around again there. So, unfortunately for Stringy, that might be his day done in terms of qualifying, not in terms of the race though, so don't worry about that. All you Stringy fans out there, he will be back. I know he'll be back and round to go then. Just watching the Renault driver there, and I'm wondering if he's just trying to harvest as much energy as he can. So you can see he's at 91% now. He's trying to get as much harvest as he can to try and get a full allocation of curves there. Curves. Well, I was living like a couple of years ago there, wasn't I? On board with Brandon, and lovely shot here from the Haas side. That was a fantastic shot of the incredible suspension there and the loads it goes for here. Anyway, back on board there, and Brandon he is now on 29.0 at the moment. Yellow flags in 2 and 3 is and is in the pits then, so he is done then. So unfortunately, and is done. Jonathan is on the lap at the moment. Stringy is I think finished the lap. Nigel is also going for his first run as well. So this is going to come thick and fast now. Murphy is on the lap then, but he's only got 10 seconds to go to the line. Murphy has it. He's done it. There's no question about that. He was well within the time frame there. What about RH44 though? What about RH44? Is he done? No, not according to that. He's through. So yeah, we'll leave Code Masters be on that one. So we have lost Fisher and have both done. They're the men who started on the front row at the moment. Then, as it stands, then, but we've got 8 cars. It wants to challenge, wants to knock them off their perch. Then, can they do it? First man that's going to try is definitely Brandon. He is coming now down and to the finish the second section. Now he races up the hill to the 130 yard. What's he doing? He is 5 tenths of a second quicker. That is going to plonk him right in the middle of the. I think it might go up to third position. Actually, that's a good time there for Brandon there. Can he keep it all together then? Feather in the throttle, and he needs to keep the momentum. Let's see what he can do there. He comes up to the line now. He's 27, 28. It's up in the third position. Good time there for Brandon. Fantastic stuff. Murphy 2 tenths of a second up. Jonathan there coming through the final corner. He's 2 tenths of a second up. That will get him back over the third position. I think it does get back on the first position. Brandon and Jonathan there just just off the front row then. Very close indeed. Murphy there's 4/10 of a second. My goodness me, Murphy 4/10 of a second up there. Who else out there? We got Meister up there. Echo, and Nigel only 9th position there. So Echo goes up to 6th fastest then. Murphy, what is he doing? He's 4/10 of a second up. He's got that for pole position, I think. Let's find out. I'm leading forward. I can't contain my excitement. He's second. He is second. He's on the front row of the grid. Murphy is just missing out from Fisher. RH there is a cruiser back to the pits, and Stringy is done for this session as well. Wow, what a time there. Fisher said that Murphy has taken pole. He was so close, wasn't he, to getting pole position. His second sector was quite monsterish, wasn't it? Scary stuff indeed. But Fisher there is happy. He's just a get in there, and he is on pole position in the Ferrari for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's probably one of the more important pole positions of the season, because it's very difficult to overtake around here. Unless you're Kobayashi, of course. There's RH44 just taking a victory lap then. Which is good for me, because my jaw's hurting after all that, and I've only done qualifying. So RLH then is in 10th position then, and I don't think we've seen the full capabilities of RLH there, which is a bit of a shame then. But don't worry about that, because the points are dished out in the race said. So yes, he's still got 27 laps to make up, 28 laps around here. Possibly. I think it is 27 laps, because of course the full race is 53, isn't it? So Fisher is on pole position by the minutest of margins there, just under a 10th of a second there, 700 of a second between himself and Murphy. That is the front row. Ang is in third position with Jonathan in fourth. Look at 2/10 of a second separates the front four. That is incredible stuff, isn't it? Wow, the front four are gonna be an almighty scrap, aren't they, for the battle for the race win then. And now we're getting ready for the race itself. Echo saying good luck everyone. Of course, I do echo that as well. But also, I think it is every man for himself out there. That is no doubt about that. So, yeah, I've got to say qualifying is very important around here, isn't it? It's very difficult to overtake on this track as well. And maybe into turn one, possibly, if you have a superior car perhaps, or a superior run out of the triangle chicane. 130R possibly. They could. There's a couple of places where I like into there, but you do need a lot of help from the driver you're overtaking there. So, and I don't think any driver's going to just wave you past, are they? As we're now just getting ready for the race itself. Then it is 9 o'clock UK time. We are going to have 45 minutes now of absolute non-stop action for Friday night racing. Of course, a part of the RRC, franchise itself. Then. I know we got to go on a formation like that. Of course, Jimbo there's coming to us later in the McLaren, I think he said. So as we go through then the race, the grid then. Let's go through the grid then, shall we? From front to back, 17 cars, 27 laps. This is Friday nights. This is Friday night racing. Let's do this, shall we? And on pole position is Fisher, car 13 in the Ferrari. Brilliant job. Murphy is second alongside him. Row 1 is looking juicy as ever, isn't it? And is in third position there in the Renault. Jonathan is fourth in the Toro Rosso. We got Brandon fifth. And then we got Navgo Meister in sixth position. Then Echo is seventh. Stringy is in eighth position. Nigel ninth position with RH44 in 10th position. Those guys are all on the medium compound tyre. 11th position is Exile. He's going to have brand new spank it. Well, those don't look like new tyres to me from Exile there. So, yeah, because you do get a lot more shine off those new tyres. But he's in 11th position. Sam is in the 12th position in the Alfa Romeo with Matt in 13th position, also on medium tyres. Brayley is the only man on the soft tyres. In a 14th position. Expect fireworks from Brady, because he's going to be flying off the grid, isn't he? Here comes Games in 15th position with Stead there, who is not keen on qualifying, was he? I think he's more of a racer, isn't he? In 16th position in the Haas. Lovely shot here from the Haas. Look at this. We're just on top of the rear wheel here. This is fantastic. Well, just before it. And then Jimbo is in the 17th position. He's on the hard compound tyre then. So everyone's on the medium tyres, apart from Jimbo, who's on the hard tyres, and also Brady, who's on the soft tyres. So very interested, very interesting decisions there, and I gotta say I do love we love some different decisions, don't we? It's a good variety, it's a lovely spice of life, isn't it? Right then, as you can see, the formation lap is over there. So this is not, this lap doesn't count as a part of the Grand Prix. This is just a formation lap to get your car into pristine condition, don't they? They need a warm-up lap, don't they, the drivers, to get the tire temperatures up right, to get all the balances, to get the feel of the car. As it's a different day, isn't it? Of course, qualifying, the car is going to be fat fuel, so it's going to feel a bit like a boat in the first couple of laps then. And of course you needed the boat in silver, didn't you? Incredible race there. And of course I suggest you go back and watch the silver race as well. I think they're almost at the end, if they aren't at the end now. But we're going to keep an eye on gold now. And this is an incredible, look at that, Fisher's helmet there, glancing to the right hand side there, just seeing where Murphy is there. Look at this, he's doing it again then. And now we've got the last car, Jimbo, lining up and ready to go here in Japan then. And that's a great camera shot there. But we want to see the cars there. So you can see they're all lined up and ready to go. The tension is building here in Japan then. We are waiting for those 5 lights that will come on. And when they go out, we'll be racing in Japan. There they are. 3, 4, 5 lights over the pause. And it's going to Japan, and a lot of wheel spin there. We've got already Echo. Oh no, McLaren! There's a McLaren there that's gone right in. Oh dear, it's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong there. The McLaren, and that's Brady who's gone off, and we expected fireworks there. Echo's also damaged the car as well, and that is a appalling start there for those guys there. Wow, what a shame there. We got a car in the wrong way as well. We got Exile going the wrong way. It's been a bit of a shambles of a start here in Japan then, and as Exile is trying to get back on the track there without causing any problems there. Fisher leads, Angus second, Jonathan third, Murphy and Napoleon start. A terrible start from the Mercedes driver. Stringy in 5th position there, but he's got a bit of a queue. Brandon in 6th position, Rob Board, Brandon 7th position is LH, 8th position is Meister, 9th position is Nigel, 10th is Matt, 7th is Sam, Stead is up to 12th position. Great stuff from Stead there. As we said, he's more of a racer, isn't he? Jimbo is up at the 13th position. He's having a look, he's having a mighty old look there into the hairpin. Not quite there, Stead. Oh, Stead's gone wide down. Stead's gone wide down, and unfortunately, just I think he was probably paying attention to the McLaren driver. Brady, Echo, and Exile have got a bit of damage out in the background, and as you can see, then yeah, Murphy on the Napoleon side, and he's dropped down a couple of positions there. Stringy's up 3, fantastic stuff from Stringy there. So unfortunately, Echo there from I think he was 5th on the grid or something like that. Well, he's well down the order now, isn't he? As they come up then to the 130 yard and flying through the 130 yard, and we're coming through the complete lap 1 here in Japan then. And as you can see, never getting the chicane at the moment. Now we've got Jonathan. Oh, he's gone very wide there. Now, oh, Jonathan's in the pits, and Jonathan is in the pits, and Fisher sends the fast on the race, and Jonathan is in the pits, and so this is not good at all then for Jonathan. And of course, the man who has done a lot of as Exile has flown to first, and fantastic bit of driving there from Exile. Of course, said I think that there's a problem with the connection there. But yeah, Jonathan in the pits, and the man who's won around here 5 times it's got all to do now. Is the safety cars are quite a high risk around here, so it's not all done yet. We're on board with LH is all over the back of Meister at the moment. Meister in the Force India then is under almighty pressure. He's under the caution at the moment in the racing point now. Oh, is that? Oh my goodness me! Oh my god! I thought he was in Nigel there. Almost someone collected it there, and and Meister there getting some 3-second penalty there. And I sorry, I got very shouty there. Ooh. Oh blimey! Almost broke my mic. So Nigel there really getting very wobbly there, isn't he? As he goes to the Dunlop. The Dunlop car is really causing some issues out there at the moment, isn't they? And they're coming through the hairpin now. Then I think this is where the action is. 5-10 seconds separates Fisher and Ang at the moment. Then it's a battling for the lead. Then Murphy has now got 3 out of Stringy over the 4th position. He's gone for the knife, gone for the field like a hot knife through butter. Brilliant stuff from Fisher. Meister is in 6th position. Oh, look at that car! He's just skating off the road there. Really didn't want anything to do with the final part of Spoon there. Here comes Jimbo there. He's down all over the back of Nigel. Nigel really struggling at this part stage of the race, and he's going to go on the outside to the 1-3. No way! No, not quite then. Nigel's gone wide down. And then Jimbo's going to go on the inside as he's having a look then. Fisher getting set in the fast of the race, but that has been eclipsed. But Murphy damage to the car. He's gone into the back of Nigel. That is so good. Nigel's in the pits then. And Nigel in the pits. I'm one of the tires for streaming. Yeah, I'm streaming. Oh no! No, it's all right. I thought that Ang was off the track there, but he's in third position at the moment now. Just taking a look through the field then. So hopefully it will calm down a minute. But now then, Jimbo is under almighty pressure from Games here in the in the race. Point and oh, step there right off the track there, coming out the S's there. No, he ain't. He's back on the track there. Great teleportation skills there from Stead. Impressive stuff. So now we're back on board then with Games, and he is now all over the back of Jim. And look at Jim there. He's really getting very wobbly then at the moment. And so you can see the arrows are going up and down at the moment. So I'm trying to work out where everyone is then. I got to say, it's feeling a bit like a disco at the moment, isn't it? I have. Just having a look there, just as Echo is Echo's not happy. It all went wrong really. Before it was a bit like the 2010 Japanese Grand Prix. I think it was Petrov that was out of the race before it even got to turn 1. So a very messy start at the moment. Angus now, DRS is available on this lap. Then DRS then will be available for Angus. So the battle for the lead is going to get really heated in the next couple of minutes. And here they are. This is the battle for the lead. Ferrari versus Renault. Oh, feels like 2006 all over again, doesn't it? They come through the final turn. Then Fisher's had a very good exit of the triangle chicane. We're back on board then with Ang. He is gaining. Oh, this is shades of Japan. Night Fighter. Fisher comes on the inside. Outside is Ang. Wow, look at that flying through. He's on the outside for Fisher there. Oh, contact, but no wing damage then. No, Jimbo's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Murphy there at the moment is on his own some at the moment, isn't he? Brandon there is keeping stringy. He on at the moment. Meister. Oh, Ferrari's out. Then LH44 is out of the Japanese Grand Prix. Out of the SSZ. That's our first retirement in this race, and he has damaged the suspension. The front right corner has been front left corner has been ripped off the car, and the wheel towers doing a cracking job. But I don't think LH even remotely cares about that at this moment in time. Shame for the Ferrari driver. He is out of the race then. Jonathan would have been hoping for a safety car of some kind, wouldn't he? As the course said, he needs a safety car to get himself back into contention. He's up to 12th though, but you can see there's a bit of a gap there, isn't there, between himself and Stead in at 10th position. Then, as we take a look at the tyre strategies out there at the moment, we got Matt, who is up into 7th position. Now he's got by Sam. Sam has dropped down to 8th position. Sam has actually very nicely moved himself in the field there, really quietly going under the radar. Sam is doing a nice job. Oh, he's made contact with the back of Matt's Mercedes there, and he is back through. Sam is, I think he might have damaged the front wing now, Sam has, but yeah, Matt was through, and then Sam there gave him a little nudge out of the way, and Sam was back through and up in the same position then, and that's a bit oh dear. So is but we need to find, and he hasn't got damage out. Those Alfa Romeo front wings are pretty decent there, isn't he? LH has left the session unfortunately, and that's his day done. Wow, look at that, and Stringy's going to go back on the inside now. We're back on board with Stringy with Brandon there hanging on the outside. Beautiful, absolutely textbook stuff there from the Haas driver. Beautifully done there. And well, that's I gotta say. Unfortunately, we haven't seen the end of that. I'd like to see a full replay of that if we could. Mr. Director there. Unfortunately, I am the director, so I don't have that facility yet. So Matt then has got to get past Sam once again. He's done the hard work, but unfortunately, Sam getting very squirrely there out to Dunlop there, and he's got, oh my goodness, Echo set the fast out of the race then, and I gotta say, Sam's car looking very lively in Dunlop, isn't he? Feels like an adventure going through there every time, doesn't it? So that's battle for 9th and 10th as well. We've also got a battle between Stead and Games there in the battle for the final points. Then we've also got Jimbo and Nigel all over the back of each other as well. So we've got some decent battles going on. Don't forget Echo. It's also trying to get himself back through the field as well. So he is setting the fast on the race, and Nigel there going onto the grass. I'm surprised at Nigel at the moment, because Nigel is. Oh, we'll come out of it, because look at this. Angus on the outside for Fisher trying to force him out. Oh, they're buying wheels. Sam is retired from the race then. Sam is out of this race, and now then, and I'm not sure where he's gone. We'll find out in a minute, because this is the battle for lead. Angus now gaining. Fisher has closed the door on the inside, so Angus is going to go on the outside, then going into turn 1. He swoops around the outside. He's gone wide. Fisher is back through. Incredible racing here in Japan. And oh my goodness me, Fisher there slamming the door shut then. Where's Murphy? There he is. He's in the background there in the Mercedes. He's only 1.2 seconds back now. Where is Sam? Where is Sam then? And I'm wondering if he's gone. If he's gone in the 130 yard. Why? No, he's that's an interesting place to go for Sam. That's a very unusual place to retain. He was coming out up to the 130 yard, so he didn't even make it to the 130 yard. Sam didn't there. So that's a very interesting way to retire from the Japanese Grand Prix. We might have to. I'm wondering if we might have to take a look at that after the race, really, and see what happened. Hopefully, we'll find out in the comments what happened there for Sam. But unfortunately, we've lost LH. We was on board with LH when that happened, and we've also lost Sam as well. We're down to 15 cars then out of the 17 that started on board then with Angin. I got to say, this man there is really giving Fisher all kinds of grief on the remote, and there's a Mercedes driver there is just catching them as well, as he is keen to make this a freeway fight full of lead here in the Japanese Grand Prix. We're on lap 6 out of 27. We've still got 20 more laps to go, everyone. So hold on to your horses, everyone. I hope you got a pint full of tea. You don't need a cup, you need a pint for this. This is going to be incredible stuff here as they come into the triangle chicane again then. And sorry for that, there's Exol there is jumping up and down there, isn't he? He's like a yo-yo going up and down that classification then. Fisher's had a very good X there out to the triangle chicane now. It's 3 tenths of a second gap. I think it's too much there, Frank. He ain't going to get on the inside. He ain't going to. I don't think he'll control Fisher on this lap alone, man. And so he's on his way down, but Fisher there is really under the cosh, isn't he? And Stringy there is really keeping tabs on Brian at the moment in 5th and 6th position. We got Navgo Meister in 7th position. Matt is 8th position. 9th is Hugo Game. Is that Hugo? Is that Games? 10th position is Stead. Jonathan 11th. 12th position is Nigel. Jimbo is dropping back now in 30th position with Echo in 14th and Bailey in 15th position. And Brady in 15th position. Brady in 15th position then. On board, and there's Exol, who's just in the... Was that Exol in the foreground there? That can't have been. I don't think it was Exol. Oh! It is Exol. It is Exol's game, isn't it? It is Exol's... oh! And oh my goodness me! Oh dear, oh dear! And Exol is in the wall, and I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it is Exol's car, and I'm not sure what is really going on. Oh my goodness! I'm not sure what's going on at all at the moment. Then it's Exol there just getting on his way. He's not. I don't think he's in 7th position. I'm not really sure then, but I'm not even sure if if Ang knew he was there. But on our screen, he definitely just got him out the way, didn't he? But he's on his way then, and now they were on board there with Ang. Then he's looking much more menacing this time. Murphy's dropped back. Oh, he don't get it. Make a touch of free. Take a penalty there for Step then for cutting the corners. I'm trying to say DRS enabled. Then he's a 10th of a second back. Then he is gaining again. Then isn't he? But Fisher there once again and has the high ground at the moment. Then as they go into turn 1 then, and we've seen a glimpse out of the Mercedes. Exile is back in the lead. Then I've got to say he's having an incredible race. He's having an incredible race and a bad race, isn't he? Exile is so he's really jumping up and down there. Getting very excited there, isn't he, in the Williams Exile. So if we ignore Exile for now, because we don't really want to ignore Exile, do we? Because he's a cracking driver, but at the moment I think we might have to, because we're not sure where he is in the race. Well, I'm certainly not sure. I have no idea what's going on. Well, I never do really, but today especially. So Exile I think is not in the race. So Stead's in 9th position. Jonathan Cox is in the points now. Jimbo is now really starting to pile the pressure on on Nigel, the Dutchman, and there is Williams there of no, it is a Mercedes. What am I saying? It is a Mercedes, and it is Murphy. It is Murphy. Murphy is now 4 tenths of a second back. This is the battle for the lead. It's a freeway scrap then for the lead here in Japan. Then how is strategy going to call? How is strategy going to play it? So I'm going to go for the undercut here. As of course it's overtaking around here, kind of difficult as we have seen. Yellow flag in 1, and oh whoa, what's that? Jimbo is off the track. He is out of the race. He very similar to Sam. He's not a fan of Fly Emirates, is he? He is out of the race. Unfortunately, Jim hasn't. I think he's retired. The car has he retired for the car? I'm not sure. I thought I seen someone retire, but perhaps I'm just I'm losing my mind. So unfortunately, but Jim's dropped down to 14th, whatever the case may be. We've also got Stringy, who's got in front of Brandon. I think Stringy is back in front of Brandon and back up into 4th position then. Great stuff for deep from straight. Oh, Ang there going a bit wild there, isn't he? But he kept it all within track limits there. Of course, the white lines define the track, don't they? Murphy there is now starting to start really home in on Ang, isn't he? The Renault driver. And I've got to say, this has been incredible stuff, hasn't it, from the front three. It's been really impressive stuff there. Really great stuff around here, around Japan. Of course, it's very difficult to drive Japan on your own. So battling like this, wheel to wheel, is immense, isn't it? Absolutely immense stuff around here. And now coming over the crosses there, coming up to the hairpin now. And you can see then there's Fisher, Ang, Dan Murphy. all within the same screenshot. Absolutely incredible stuff. Nose to tail then here in Japan then, as we were just talking about earlier, then it's now coming down to strategy, isn't it? Who is going to make the first call on strategies? We're on lap 9 and 27. When does the pit window open? Has the pit window already opened for these guys then? 17 laps on the hard tarts. Is it doable? Possibly. Well, I have no idea, to be honest. It could be anyone's. It's definitely anyone's game there, isn't it? As we're also watching the battle for 4th and 5th position. Look in the background there's Navgo Meister as well, who's just also really starting to master the Japanese Grand Prix circuit. And look at this, Brandon's through and he's back up in the 4th position then. String is dropped down to 5th position. All getting very loose there into the 130R. Wow, well, look at this, he's all over the back of it. He's all over the back of String. He's pulled out. He's taken the lead. He has taken the lead. Where's String is going? Sorry, where is Fisher? He's on the inside. But Ang takes the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff there from Ang. Fisher dropping down the 2nd position. 3rd position is Murphy. What's happening between Brandon and Stringy? Whoa, my goodness me, they're battling nose tail. This is what you want to see around this incredible Japanese Grand Prix circuit around Suzuka. It's an absolute classic track. Murphy is through. He's gone through Dunlop, has he? Incredible stuff. But Fisher must have gone a bit, must have made a mistake somewhere, because that's a very difficult place to overtake on your own. So I'm wondering if Fisher had a problem there. Well, Murphy's now in 2nd position. Exo's got a 3-second penalty there for 3-second penalty there for warnings at the moment then, as they fly after the hairpin down in. So I'm not sure where to look, to be honest, because wherever I look there's action galore. Jonathan is now right on the back of Stead then in the battle for 9th and 10th position. Jonathan's in the point. He's done 8 laps on the hard compound tire, and I think he might become a very much definitely a point of interest for the guys who are battling at the front there. Look at that, Angus just gone, hasn't he? He has gone. He's a second and 2/10 in front at the moment. Brilliant stuff from Ang then. He's really put his toe down. Stringy has put his toe down as well. He is flying through the 130 and fast on the race for Ang then, as his first lap in the lead of this Japanese Grand Prix, and he celebrates it with putting in a fastest lap. Great stuff. Stringy there is really hovering on the back of Murphy at the moment, but whoa, where's look at this, and Stringy there and Brandon there, batting away then, a lovely long shot here, where's Stringy's on the outside, Brandon there is not having none of that, he slams the door shut, he is not going to let Stringy go on the outside that easily, I'm going to show you that. So Brandon there is slamming the door, he is not going to let Stringy go on the outside, and so why would you? And I was like, well, look at this then. Ang there, I thought he was very close to the back of someone, but he wasn't. Jonathan has gone in front then. Oh, lovely. Look, he just took out the camera there, Jonathan did. He's in 10th position at the moment. It's not been the best of races, has it, for Jonathan? But we're on lap 11 out of 27. We're not even at half distance yet. Could be safety cars. There could be action. There could be anything could happen in this race here in Japan, and it usually does. Weather might intervene, but I gotta say, I don't think there's not really a threatening cloud in the sky at the moment, is there? As I gotta say, once again, Exile jumping up and down at the moment, isn't he, on the charts on the left hand side. Let's take a look at the classification, shall we? So we've had a bit of a breather around Japan. This is the most, and I gotta say, they're so close together that this is the most. This is the most relaxed this Grand Prix has been on these 11 laps. Incredible stuff. At the moment, Angus leading the race, then is into the pits comes Braley. 2nd position is Murphy. 3rd position is Fisher. 4th is Brandon with Stringy in closer. Oh, he's in closer competition for 5th position. Navgo Meister is in 6th position with Matt. 7th, 8th position is Games. Jonathan in 9th position. 10th position is Stead. 11th position Murphy is dropping down into. Oh, that's a car off the track. Who's off the track then? And Stringy's through. Stringy is through and up into 6th position then. So Stringy is back through and he is up into 5th position, I should say, as I'm getting caught out by all these graphic going on the left hand side there. But yeah, well done to Stringy there. He's back through, back past Brandon. I think it's going to be a race long battle. It's been an incredible battle so far. It's been incredible at the front there between Ang, Fisher and Murphy. It's incredible between Stringy and Brandon in the battle for 4th and 5th position then. Into a second Dunlop then. Out of it now. Then this is what 3 tenths of a second looks like in a Formula 1 car. Look at that. It's basically just over a car's length, isn't it? Oh, and going off. You can see there Brandon there much later on the brakes there, going into the hairpin there, and he is going a bit wider there. And stringing there, of course, is very difficult to get overtaken around here, isn't it? You need to have a lot of power in that ERS of yours, don't you? But nothing at this moment in time there. As Navigo Meister there is just got a 3-second penalty there at the moment. Then in the I think he's in the racing point now. He's just behind this bound moment, so he's just having a look then. So coming to the 130R once again. Then look at him, he is all over the back of the Toro Rosso, and now Stringy there is definitely feeling the wrath there of Brandon there to come into the hairpin now. And Stringy there is doing a good job there, isn't he? Look at that there. He is not going to be on the car. Basically, you have to around those corners. You have to wait until the car in front is on the loud pedal, and which really, so you're always going to be on the gas. A car length later, Shree's on the inside. He's feeling the pressure from Brandon. Look at him going on the outside again. There's the Force India as well. This is now a freeway party for the battle for 4th position then in this incredible Japanese Grand Prix. I would say we're just coming to half distance, about halfway through. Brady is out of the race. And whoa, he's got off on the outside there, coming into the SSN, because that's where Al H retired as well earlier on in the race. So yeah, it's become a bit of a it's a very deadly call. Murphy is dropped off the back there. What's happened to Murphy? Is there a problem with the Mercedes car? Let's take a look. Oh, he's damaged the end plate. The Mercedes car has got a problem there. So Dan has damaged the car. He has dropped right back, and that is a huge shame. You can see that he's lost 5 seconds in a couple of laps since Fisher overtook him, and that just shows how important the front wings are around it. That is such a shame for Dan Murphy. Major problem there for the Mercedes driver. Back on board, Brandon Braley has left the session. That is our 3rd retirement in this race. Al H, Sam, and Braley are all out of this Grand Prix. I think Jimbo's out as well. I think he's well, he's meant to be a ghost car, but I don't think he is. He's quite solid out there. Back on board then with Brandon. I've been saying that quite a lot, because we have been running on board the Haas driver a lot of time at the moment. Gap at the front is the second, and as Murphy is just waiting for a opportune time to come in the pits. If he wants to change that front wing, he'd add an extra couple of seconds onto a stop. I think it's about 4 or 5 seconds extra for a wing change, isn't it? And that could make or break his racing mode. How far in front is he from these guys here? Let's have a look. It's 5 seconds. That is not enough to make a stop and change the front wing. So that is not good. And I think he's actually slipping into this battle for 4th and 5th position dead. So what a shame for Murphy there. It's going to be a 2-car fight, I think, at the front there. Fisher is back in DRS. Well, he's back out of DRS now, isn't he? They float in and out at the moment. So back on board then with Brandon as we come through the S9. Striggy is the man. Look at that. A bit of oversteer on the car there for Brandon as he guts on the power very eagerly as well into the Degness here then. And you can see not taking much AstroTurf airs. Of course, the cars are now going to be getting lighter and lighter, of course. They all started fatter fuel. Of course, there's no refueling in Formula 1 anymore. As Excel's dropped down to 4th position. Excel's not in 4th position. I'm not even sure where he's on track. He's actually in 4th on the track, but I don't think he's actually 4th in standings there. But yeah, of course, there's no refueling in Formula 1 anymore, because they got rid of that at the end of the 2009 season. And since then, there's been no refueling. So the added pressure that was having 2 types of car compound, which is why you pit these days, isn't it, rather than refueling. And Excel's car, I think Excel's car is actually out of the race, to be honest. And then this, look at this. Oh no! And Australia's gone into the back. Is he actually there, or am I just seeing things? I might just be seeing things, to be honest, because Stringy's car is not damaged there. He just went into the back of it, but he's fine. But he might not be fine now, is he? Because now look at this, Brandon's all over. He's going on the outside. He's going to take 4th position. Murphy's at the pit side. Brandon takes 3rd position. He's on the podium then. Stringy is now under pressure from Nagelmeister then. And now what does Murphy do? He's coming the pits. He has changed his front wings. He is coming out. He's on the soft compound tires. He's really mixing it up here in this Japanese Grand Prix, Murphy is. But those soft tires, I don't think they're going to go and get very far in this race. What they might do, actually, that might be a very good point. They might be going from medium to soft. I didn't even think of that. That's incredible. Listen, that's what I mean about these drivers, isn't it? They might go for a strategy. I didn't even think. Well, I thought it was going to be medium to hard tires. That might not be the case then. So Murphy's on the soft tires, and he is going to go for the undercut, but he has to have an almighty. He needs a couple of laps really to get that to work. I don't think with the wing change as well as the time he lost. Echo set the fast out of the race with the wing change and also the time he lost. I don't think that's going to happen then. Look at this! Look at this! I thought he was going to have a go into the spoon there. Navgo Meister, but not quite then from the racing point as they come out of spoon then. Brandon there has got a 9/10 of a second gap. I think that's the most gap he's had over Stringy. Oh, Fisher's got a 5-second penalty. That could be make or break his race here. He's in the pits and I think as Ang carries on then, Ang is carried on in this race then. That's a 5-second penalty. I wonder where he's had that. It must have been here at the Triangle Chicane and that is a huge blow then. Who is in the pits then? Oh, in the pits there first then is Stringy. So Stringy comes in the pits then as we got Mercedes there of Matt and who's just trying to get by. Oh dear! And in the oh no! My goodness me! And the Williams are getting loads up in the air. It's like he's not even there, guys. And out of the pits there comes Striggy then as he didn't need to change his wing there. Where is Murphy? Where is Murphy? Murphy's just coming down the straight now, but look at that! He's coming behind Striggy as well. That is how much he's lost in terms of the that front wing. That is a huge blow for Murphy. Up until that point, he was right in the mix there. Fisher comes out in full position there, and I wonder there is he might retake the lead from this then because of course. He is going to be on he's had an excellent oh dear I think the Textiles car is being bullied out there at the moment, so they keep just ramming him off the track then as, so he's had a bit of a hard time out there, isn't he, the Williams driver. So Ang leads at 16 seconds the gap is. Then we got Brandon and Navgo Meister then is now 3 tenths of a second away from Brandon. Brandon is now 17 seconds back then. Fisher is at 27 seconds approximately, give or take, behind Ang. Is that enough? Is that enough then? Nigel is now up into 10th position then. Well, I think he was in 10th already, but he's now officially up in 10th position. Stead is in 11th position there at the moment, and of course the man who didn't take part in qualifying, but he's having a much better race, isn't he? In the pits then comes the race leader. The race leader's in the pits then, and he's going to go into a soft compound tire to the end then. I sound an expert now. I wasn't about 2 laps to go. So Ang then is going to come in and out of the pits. Of course, the stop time is usually about 2.9 seconds. Absolutely incredible stuff, isn't it? Brandon. Oh no! And then he's got a 5-second penalty. Navgo Meister is for speeding in the pit lane. That might have finished that. It's going to be a huge disappointment then. And look at that, Angus come in and out. And 5-second penalty from Matt as well. He's at 6 seconds in front of Fisher there, so good stuff. Games out in 5th position. Then Navgo is what's happened to Brandon? What's happened to Brandon? Brandon's out. He's had an appalling start from the Haas team. Brandon is dropped all the way down. He's dropped behind Navgo Meister. And now that is a big blow. I think Matt there coming out of the pits as well. Nigel is through and up into 10th position then. So yeah, Brandon's dropped down. He's lost a couple positions. And Fisher's also through. Stringy's also through as well. On board then as Steve has just caught in front of Matt as well in the battle for 10th position. So Murphy there on board with him now as he is now all over the back of Stringy, isn't he? So yeah, that is how much time he's lost, isn't he? He was battling in the front there. Now he's dropped all the way down to 6th position, but that will become a 4th position, I think, when the pit stops all showing now. We got Games there who's on the medium tyres. Jonathan's on the hard tyres. I wonder if Jonathan's going to go to the end, actually. That is going to be an incredible effort if he does, don't it? That would be brilliant stuff from Jonathan. Incredible bit of strategy call there from Jonathan on the hard compound tyres there. On board then with Murphy as he's into spoon now. 2/10 of a second. The gap between himself and Striggy. We've also got Matt who's also all over the back of Stead as well in 10th position then. The battle for the final points paying positions then. I think as Sam has left the session there, unfortunately he retired earlier on in this race. Coming to as Exiles in the pits on board with Murphy. Oh, he's going for the switch by there. Fisher set the fast up of the race as it stands. Wonder if Fisher's going to try and go for the Grand Slam here. If he is going to go for the Grand Slam, he has to reduce the rears of 5 seconds and pass Ang into the final stage of this incredible Japanese Grand Prix. As back on board with Murphy then. I gotta say, I love these onboard shots around Japan. It is absolutely beautiful to watch, isn't it? There in the foreground is 2 Toro Rossos. We got Stringy. Then we have got yellow flag in 1. As what's going on in 1? I've gone the wrong way around, haven't I? Just take. Oh, that's the leader! The leader's off the track! Ang is off the track there! Oh my goodness me, he has damaged the car! That is huge! That is huge for the rail driver! It's gone all wrong! And just as we were saying there, the Fisher needed. God, needed an almighty follow part of the car. He didn't need at all. And he's damaged the car. This is incredible stuff. Here is the race leader from the leading race by 5 seconds. It's all gone awry. And that is a huge blow as Fisher takes the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. As Angus dropped down the second, now he's going to have almighty understeer. Because remember, Murphy had the same issue, didn't he? And he lost the part of his front wing as well. And that cost him a lot of time. A lot of time gets lost around here, doesn't it? If you damage your front wing. On board then, as there's 2 Toro Rossos in front of us. The question is, Angus got a 3-second penalty there as well, as he's going to have to compensate, isn't he, for that understeer now. Jonathan on 16-lap hard tires. Is the Toro Rosso boys going to work together? Well, I got to say at the moment, Stringy is feeling the pressure now from Murphy, isn't it? This is the battle for 4th and 5th position. And once again, then Murphy there is just showing the nose comb on that Mercedes, but Stringy there is standing firm, isn't he, as they come through to complete a lap 18. We're on lap 19 here, but now Murphy's got an incredible run. Look at him, he's gaining. DRS is open, he's going to go on the outside. Stringy's on the inside. Where is he? Look at him, they're going side by side through turn 1, and Stringy has gone over and under. Murphy's on the outside, but not quite then. Stringy there holds position, and Murphy it's still in 6th position then. As it stands then, wow, and look at who's in the background there. Navigator there really is now only a second back. This is hurting Murphy, isn't it? 5-second penalty for Stead then for speeding in the pit lane. So, yeah, unfortunately for Stead then, he just didn't slow down. He's done 18 laps on these medium compound tires. Nicely done then. And, I think I've missed a pit stop, haven't I? I think I have. So as we're on board then with Murphy once again, then Jonathan is now less than a second behind then. And he is, oh, look at that, he's only 6 seconds behind. And that's how much damage the car has got on the Renault driver. And now Fisher is 5 seconds in front of the man who was in the race battle. Murphy is all over the back of Stringy, isn't he? As he comes into Spoon now. Look, there's the 2 Toro Rosso cars. There's the Mercedes driver once again going into Spoon. Out of Spoon now then. Now the track dips down before you power back up the hill and go into 130. Lovely shot of the steering wheel of the Mercedes car. I don't think Mercedes is going to be too happy with that. You see all the gadgets and gizmos on the Mercedes car. What is Murphy going to use? What has he got at his disposal? You can see his ERS bar, the yellow bar is almost depleted in that Mercedes as they come down the triangle, to the triangle chicane once again. Jonathan is now going to be in a lot of it's going to be under a lot of pressure, I think, because those tires are well past their best now. Jonathan is so Stringy there is gaining on Jonathan. So it's Murphy gaining on Stringy as well. Jonathan cutting a bit of the grass there as they fly through turn 1 then. And it's status quo at the moment, but how long is it going to be status quo for? Watch out for a yellow car in the foreground as well, as they are now under 4.7 seconds behind as well. It's all bunching up. Fisher is now starting to wander off in the lead. So it's anyone's ball game behind them. We've got a bit of a train now, haven't we, behind Jonathan? And of course, then this might actually pay. It's going to play into his hands there, Jonathan. This is very difficult to overtake around here. So of course, turn 1 is you have to be brave and damn dear on the brakes to overtake around here. And look, there's Navigator Meister in 7th position. We've got Brandon there 5 seconds back as well. And of course, we've also got a Renault who is actually being swallowed up by this bus. So there he is. We just seen him flying through the right hand. There he is again. So unfortunately for Ang, the man who was leading this race, it's all gone to pot, hasn't it, for the Renault driver there. We see him recovering in the Dunlop chicane there, Dunlop chicane in the Dunlop curve there. So that's a shame there for Ang now. But can he keep 2nd position? That's the question. Back on board with Murphy. Once getting the Mercedes. Look at him. He is getting very keen on that rear end of the Toro Rosso. And look at this as he takes more of a tight angle. He's going to have a look once again. I think that we might have a Cedar and Prost situation there if he tries to shove his nose down the inside there. Once again, Jonathan there, he's got a 5/10 gap at the moment. Is that going to be enough then? As Ang, look at that, he's 10 seconds back, and he has lost so much time since that damage onto the front wing now. Once again, they're still as they were as they go through turn 1 again. This is incredible, absolutely incredible stuff. And look at them, Jonathan, Stringy, Murphy, and Navgaard Meister all in the same shot on lap 21. We've only got 6 laps to go this. We could have another 21 laps. This is absolutely incredible stuff as we go into the final stage of this Japanese Grand Prix. Excuse me, I've got an itchy ear. Incredible stuff, Fed. And now back on board with Murphy. Then we've got a free play second penalty. Oh my goodness me, Murphy, they're going on the outside. He's got a lot of speed now. There is 2nd position. Ang has now been we got a yellow flag, but it's out of the Japanese Grand Prix. I think it's in the I think, well, I would say it was in Dunlop, but I think it's before Dunlop. Unfortunately, and now we're back here in this battle here. Then second position, Ang, second, third, Jonathan, fourth position is Stringy, and fifth, Murphy. Navga Weiss also right there. So Brandon is now under 4.6 seconds behind. Then going into Spoon. As I've got to take a break then because I think that I'm going to be losing my voice. We've got 6 more laps to go in this race, and I think that, oh, look at this, Jonathan is going back and forth on board in second place, man. Jonathan there is really trying to get by second position. This could play into his hands at the British Italian driver. He's on the outside going into the triangle chicane, and they're just positioned his car beautifully well, isn't he? But look at how much understeer he's got then. This is going to play havoc there. He's going on the outside, Jonathan he's on the outside, he's already through past the Renault driver. He is through. Jonathan is in second position. Where has this come from the British Italian driver? He is up in the second position. And now String is on the outside as well. He flies through the Renault driver. Hasn't got no defence, has it? Now this is going to really help Stringy, isn't it? Because Murphy is not. Look at this. He has to stay beyond that Renault car. And look at the understeer he's got going into the SSR. This is causing Murphy. Look at this. He's lost 8 tenths. He's lost a second in the first section alone. He needs to get by the second Renault car as quickly as possible. String is all over the back to her. Now he's going to go through Dunlop. He's going through Dunlop now. He is through Dunlop. And Stringy is through. Where is he? Stringy is up into second position. It's Stringy and Fisher 1-2. Jonathan in third position. Murphy is now up to fourth position. Navga Meister in fifth position. Angus dropped down to sixth position. And this is such a shame for the man who was in the race, wasn't he? Up until not too long ago. And I thought there was a McLaren there that just come into view there, which threw me for a temporarily then. So Stringy then might be now set free. He has been set free of Jonathan and is on his way then. Jonathan on the hard tire. So Murphy is now now can he get a podium out of this? I think this race, like Ang's really, is really kind of falling apart for Murphy and Ang, hasn't it? What a shame now. Ang, look, he's just dropping down the field now. The damage on the wing is too great, isn't it? Too great. But I've got to say, Jonathan's got a very quick car, hasn't he? He's just drove back up to the back of Stringy now. Stringy should have much more purchase in those soft compound tyres, though. And you can see then he just pulls away in the Toro Rosso. But Jonathan there is gaining. Look at that! That is incredible! Where did that come from? He's just come out of nowhere, Jonathan. He's back up in the second position. Wow, he's been charged in that car, hasn't he? Wow, I want to know what charger shop he goes to. That's impressive stuff there from Jonathan. He flew back up onto the rear end of Stringy. Matt is there for session, unfortunately. He's out of the race in the Mercedes. And that's such a shame there, of course. Matt came to blows earlier with Sam, didn't he? I got to say, Jonathan, my goodness me, what an incredible bit of slipstream there. What was he with slipstream? That was just power, wasn't it? He's got a cracking setup, hasn't he, for that back straight. And that may come to help him. Yellow flag in one, just as we take a breather from here. What's going on in one? Just taking a quick look up and down the field. We just did a glimpse of the leader there. That was Fisher. He's 14 seconds in front of this battle here, and I think Fisher has got a huge smile in that car at the moment, hasn't he? As they bow down into Spoon once again, then, and so I think Fisher will be. I think Fisher's going to be absolutely ecstatic with how this race has gone. There, we are on lap 23 out of 27. An incredible race, isn't it? 5/10 of a second to gap between Jonathan and Strickland Road. Murphy is closer, but not Navga Meister is also closer as well, as he is in the racing point. Oh, Murphy's gone on the inside. Has he damaged the car? He's all right, I think. Is he? He is alright. Murphy's alright. He's still got a full front wing there. He's got a penalty though. But so Murphy there, I think that was a bit of desperation there for Murphy. Now Navga Meister is going to go. Look at this. And Murphy has to go to the fence and then going down the outside onto turn one. Look at him go. Navga Meister is through. He's starting to turn the car and then the car wants to just wander on the outside. And Navga Meister's up in the fifth position. Has he got the pace to really attack Stringy? Or is this going to be a reprieve that Stringy needs then? Well, we'll find out then, because I think Navga Meister is definitely no slouch, is he, in the racing point? My goodness, he's doing a cracking job. There's Brandon 2 seconds back in the background there, and he's running out of time to get to mix it up in this party here, isn't he? And so you can see them, so we're coming up to Stringy there. So we're on board then with the race point. He's got a lap younger tyres. Murphy's got 2 lap older. He's got 2 lap older tyres, and that will get my pay dividends. So Nigel's done 21 laps, 22 laps for Jonathan. He is coming into puncture territory. He's done a long time on those hard tyres, hasn't he? Almost the full race there for Jonathan. He has now got to be very cautious, hasn't he, in terms of punctures and things like that around here. I wouldn't say this is the most stressful circuit on tyres. So so is yellow flag is got yellow flag up. Oh, it is that. That's a red out. That's a red. Angus off the track, and what a shame how it's just gone all wrong there from the former race leader. What a shame indeed there. And oh, look at that. Look at that on the inside. Oh no, and, Angus retired for the session, and Navgameister, look at this, he's banging with the side pods. Where's Murphy? Murphy is just keeping a watching brief. He's got the best seats in the house, hasn't he? As they go, they're all stitching each other. Jonathan is just wandering away from these guys now. As he's going to go on the outside. Navgameister going into turn one. Angus has the session, and Streaky there just about keeps his nose in front then. 3 laps to go, everyone, and Streaky there is really starting to defend this, and this is allowing Jonathan to really now start to pull away there. Jonathan's had an almighty race today, hasn't he, on strategy course as well. Look at Navgameister really struggling. That's going to allow Murphy, not quite as he is just behind Navgameister at the moment, then going into the first Dunlop corners then. Lovely shots are coming to the bridge then. We're on lap 25 then. As you can see, and Navgameister almost adding to the diffuser of the Toro Rosso there. I was going to say Elite there, who is leading the race. He is not actually leading the race at all. Elite has been in his complete world, hasn't he, out there in the Williams. So he's not actually officially in the race. Fisher is leading the race with Jonathan second, third Fisher, fourth is Navgameister with Murphy fifth, Brandon sixth, Nigel seventh, Games eighth, Echoes up north instead in 10th position then. And they come into the 130R once again then. And that is a racing point. Oh my goodness me! He's on the inside. There's a yellow flag one. He's on the inside. Oh no! And they come together. But once again, Shiggy is repelling the attack there at the racing point. That racing point is very slippery. And now Stringy's going to have to go more than defensive now. He's going to have to really defend for it. Now we're on board with Navgameister. He's gone on the outside. He is through. He's up in the 4th position there. Stringy has dropped down to the 5th position. Navgameister is through, forcing his way through, and he's up in the 4th position. 1 lap, 2 laps to go. Has he got the pace to challenge and get by Jonathan? I've got to say, Navgameister has been an incredible driver. Say absolutely spectacular stuff. I've really enjoyed watching this man. It's been impressive, hasn't it? I've really enjoyed watching this race. This has been immense stuff, hasn't it? Absolutely immense. As we come into the final stages of this incredible Japanese Grand Prix. As Brandon's got a 3-second penalty moment. Can Murphy get by String then with just 2 laps to go? He's going to have a look as he go down to there. But twice to follow, so we're on a good old lunge there. But that's why I'm not a racer. So then, can Navgameister get in front of Jonathan? Jonathan's done 24 laps on those hard tyres. Whoa! And Jonathan there almost going onto the grass there. Well, he didn't go on the grass there. I thought he was at no man's land there, but he kept it going then. And now then, you see then 5/10 a second the gap is between Jonathan and the racing point at the moment as they fly up to the 130 or back on board with Murph. Then it seems like we've been living on this T-cam tonight, haven't we? And that's why now, because look in front, there is where he wants to be. He wants to be in front of these guys, doesn't he? And now we're on the final lap, the last lap, which is such a shame, as I think we could have had another 27 laps of this. This has been insane stuff out there. Fisher on his last lap. Jonathan is going to complete, is on his final lap now. Can he keep it going? He has got 1 more lap to go on those tyres. It's been impressive driving from Jonathan to keep up the pace on the hard tyres. Absolutely fantastic stuff, but I think those tyres are well past their best times. We're on board with Navgameister. Jonathan is going to have to defend with all his worth now. He has done incredibly well so far. The finish line is not too far away. It's less than 3 miles away there for Jonathan. Can he do it? Can he keep his 2nd position in an absolutely epic Japanese Grand Prix? And as they go into the Degners then, and Stringy there is also, he's now Navgameister is the meat and the Toro Rosso sandwich as they fly under the crossover there. Where is Fisher? Fisher is in Spoon now, so we keep an eye on Fisher's progress, but I can't take my eyes off this either, can we? It's anyone's ball game for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th bed. And Brandon in 6th position, but I think Brandon's too far back. And then Navgameister is going to have a look. I'm wondering his best opportunity might be in the triangle chicane, which is where Fisher is now. Fisher there coming through the triangle chicane for the 27th and last time. Accelerates away the Ferrari driver. Fisher wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff there from Fisher. Fantastic. Now the battle for 2nd is really on. Exile's Carter just get out of the way. Oh no! Oh Oh my goodness me! And Williams has just gone absolutely flying, Fisher on the inside. Who is going to second? Jonathan going through the finish second, I think. Jonathan is second. No String is, no Murphy is third. Fourth position is Brandon. Fifth position is not Exile. Fifth position is Stringy. Sixth position is Navcon Meister. What a shame there. Nigel in seventh position on an epic race there. Games is in eighth position in the racing point, and the ninth position is Echo, and Stead I think is in 10th position with Jim, who's retired from this race. Then what an incredible race, absolutely fantastic. Fisher there, an amazing drive there. Of course, he had an amazing battle there with the Renault driver Ang, but it just didn't. Just to materialise for the Renault driver, did it? He made a mistake. Well, he think he made a mistake. I'm not sure if it was a back marker or what, but something went awry, unfortunately, for the race leader, and it just didn't go his way in the end. Same with Murphy as well. Then Echo Gilson gets the fastest lap of the race. So yeah, so I think Echo will be after that an extra couple of points in the piggy bank, and into an income Stead in a 10th position. Then we're going to go for the final classification in just a few minutes' time. Absolutely fantastic stuff, Ben, from all guys here tonight. Oh, really well done. I gotta say, I gotta give myself a pat on the back as well. Blimey, I've got an absolute sore throat from that. Incredible race, incredible stuff indeed. We had a great battle with the front three early on, and then the second half of the race just absolutely came alive. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. As you can see, we're watching the Fisher there, absolutely loving life. Jonathan also as well in the second position after that monster stint. 25 laps on the hard compound tyre, and at Murphy finishing third in the end. What could have been for Murphy? In the end there, where he damaged his front wing. Let's quickly go through the final classifications from the Japanese Grand Prix. Sorry, round 3, a Friday night race. Fisher from pole position to a checkered flag then, and I think it was a very good drive. So 18.6 seconds was the gap at the end, and no penalties either. Impressive stuff. Same with Jonathan, no penalties either in that second position. Well done to Jonathan. Murphy in third position in the end, with Brandon in fourth. Exile is classified fifth. I'm not 100% sure if he is fifth or not. We'll find out. Stringy is in sixth position with Navcon Meister seventh. Eighth position is Nigel. Ninth is Games. 10th is Echo, who got the fastest lap. 11th position is at Stead, and then I think the retirements was Jimbo, Ang, Matt, Brayley, Sam, and LH44. So that is the final classification then, and I think Fisher's joined us in the commentary box now. I think Jonathan, and I wonder if Dan Murphy might join us well then, as we want the talk to the podium sitters. Fisher, how about that? 18 seconds was the deficit in the end, but I gotta say, it kind of fell into your lap in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, the car didn't feel that great in the first stint. In qualifying, it felt really good. Then that first stint on the mediums, the car felt like a bit of a peg. And I was struggling not to make mistakes. And then, yeah, the second stint, I was catching Adenji a bit anyway before he'd decided to go for a spin. But yeah, it kind of, I had a few moments as well, but I think his pace difference, where he was going quicker than me, I think he was just pushing a lot harder than I was, so one of those things.
Oh, so if he didn't go for a spin, you feel that it would have been you would have possibly caught him and possibly even passed him, I know it's difficult to overtake around this track, but did you feel you had the legs of it in the second stint by the sounds of it?
I think I could have probably got past him if I got close enough. I don't really know what his pace was because we didn't really have long enough to battle, but obviously I think from how I felt with my defending into turn one, I thought I could probably get past him because I kind of had the measure of him at turn one pretty much every lap.
I gotta say, it was an incredible first stint. I must say, I know you say your car was a bit of a pig to drive, but it made some incredible viewing. I think you had them all queuing up behind you. It just seems like that. But was you concerned in the first stint? Did you think it was going to be a race on battle, or do you think it was under control? You was up here on the harder tyres.
I thought a good result would have been P3 because I think both Dan, me and Adenji were all on pretty similar pace. Obviously Jono as well, who had a cracking race to come back from where he did because he got a lovely little squeeze into turn one and died a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm happy. It's a win.
Absolutely cracking stuff. I've run and Fisher, brilliant stuff. Cracking drive today. 18 seconds was the arrears in the end, but I don't think that told the full story. It was absolutely, it was incredible behind.
If you just looked at that, you think, oh, what an easy day.
Well, the first stint was definitely not an easy day, but I think the second stint, well, you got to watch the race back. It was absolutely incredible stuff. Anyway, talking about the battle behind Fisher, let's come to Jonathan, shall we? Well, I must say, a monstrous stint, 25 laps on the hard compound tyre, incredible stuff. It was near the back there, and I was saying at the beginning of the race where Jonathan might just need a safety car, and he didn't need a safety car at all. His pace was electric on the hard compound tyre. It's incredible stuff. Jonathan, wow. What happened in turn one? I must admit, it sounded like you got a bit of a squeeze, to be honest. So I didn't see what happened in turn one. But so, do you want to talk us through that?
I actually got off to a good start. I was trying to pass the Mercedes in front of me and the Renault as well, but I tried to go through the middle because there was a gap, and I got squeezed out, and basically my wing had a bit of damage, so I couldn't really control the car steering. So I came into the pits, changed a new wing, put on hard tyres on, and went to the end of the race. Got to the end of the race and managed to make my way through the field, and it was a fantastic race. Congratulations to Elliot on the victory, and commiserations to Stringy as well. And but yeah, it was a great race.
It really was. That stint on the hard tyres was incredible. How were the tyres at the end then? Were they well past their best? Were they? I bet they probably were. I think it was a bit of a, as Fisher puts it, it's a bit of a pig to drive. I bet towards the end.
They were first they were horrible. They were horrible for the first 3, 4, maybe 5 laps. They were taking ages just to get up to temperature, and I was eventually catching up to the rest of the pack, and I managed to get through them. There were some wing damages along the way from other cars, which helped me out to decrease the gap to the cars, and yeah, but yeah, it was a good race, and hopefully keep it going. And but yeah, well done to everybody. And
oh, definitely, indeed. I also say that your straight line speed down that back straight by the start finish straight was mesmerising. I must say, like you was, I think you was a couple of car lengths back from, I think it was Stringy, your teammate, and then you just breezed by him. My goodness me, it seems like I had a Monza spec set up tonight. He absolutely flew down that back straight. That was incredible stuff there.
I'll be honest with you. Sorry, Sean. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't meant to go past Stringy, but I was. But like I said, we were talking, and we were just saying like, just keep going, and I was just giving him the slipstream just to help him out, and I managed to get P2. I thought Stringy would have been on the podium, but due to penalties, it wasn't to be, and. Great race from you, Stringy, and let's hope we can keep it going till the end of the season for Toro Rosso.
Toro Rosso. Yeah, let's come to Stringy now, shall we? I got to say, Stringy, I'm a little lost of where you finished in the end, because there was all sorts of shenanigans going on with the results. There was a Williams driver just flying all over the place. I'm not sure I don't even know if that was real or not, but we'll just leave that as it is for now. But are you disappointed with the end result there? Because it looks like you had a couple of penalties that dropped you down the order.
Yeah, I did.
I...
Oh, please stop saying that.
Oh, a true show with
Don't call him a show, no.
That's an unusual for a driver to say, because usually they're more interested in the points themselves. But that's brilliant. So all I want to do is I wish you guys kind of give me a bit of a bit of a break halfway through. Blimey, I've had a workout tonight. But also your incredible battle there with Murphy in the end, and I think it was also a racing point as well. It was getting elbows out at the Triangle Showcase. I was absolutely loving it. No damage either. It was really good racing. It really was. Just talk us through your favorite moments in that race, though, because there's a couple of moments where where I got to say there was some monster overtaking. Very good. I'm gonna be honest. I almost forgot about the first stint with you and Brandon. So that's how great the second half was as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff, guys. Brilliant. I think we'll leave it there for tonight, then, because we've got to let you guys calm down. And also remember that the silver stream was also on tonight as well. So also keep an eye on that. It was an absolute washout, wasn't it, in silver? So go back and watch that as well, because that was an absolute cracking of a show as well. If you want to rewatch the gold, you also can as well on the RRC channel. Part of Friday Night Racing. We'll be back for round 4 in a week's time. Of course, both gold and silver will be streamed once again then. I hope you guys are going to have a week's break, because you're going to have all this action all over again. But for now, though, it's goodbye from Friday Night Racing.